And if you remember, in his first over yesterday, he got hit over extra cover for 6 by Paul Sterling. Good comeback. Punchy drive down the ground by Isanulla. And well fielded off his own bowling. It looks as though there's a little piece of leather that's come off the ball. So it may well be that a pair of scissors required to cut that little bit loose bit of leather. McClenahan's not happy. It's either the seam is split or a little bit of leather I'd rather fancy. Two umpires getting together. Here's Shahzad in the last game. Brutal hitting. I mentioned 67 from 39 balls, 7 fours, 5 sixes. Unorthodox, yes, but highly effective. There's that ramp shot that I mentioned a little earlier. How about that? Just rocking back in his crease and hammering it over mid-wicket.
Yeah, brute strength at times, but also very clever with the ramp and a couple of delicately played shots. Mohammad Shahzad, that is. But here, so far, it's been Isanulla who's hit the big 6. Thank you, Prasad. Was it Zahir yesterday who certainly heaped a little bit of praise on Venki? Just subtle changes in the way bowlers should get their job done. They're very good, and of course, try very hard, very enthusiastic, but there could be a couple of subtleties that somebody like Venki Prasad could certainly teach them. Such an experienced bowler. And Venki, by the way, has been a part of several coaching squads, so he's a very experienced coach by now, Brian, and loves the job.
Yes, I first came across him coaching the Indian under-19 squad over a decade ago. Oh, that's going to be runs. Did it flick the pad, or was there some bat involved? It's Fog maximum 4, just a little inside tickle. The end of the over, and a good first over. That one for Paktia, 11 without loss. Paktia Panthers including the Sri Lankan Asuru Udana today. But Nangarhar unchanged, and as we expected, Mujib Ur-Rahman, the mystery spinner, getting the opportunity with the new ball, or at least the second over anyway. He's got a slip in position, and he's going to be bowling from the Sharjah club end.
Yeah, 17-year-old bowling to one of the big heroes of Afghanistan cricket, and skipper as well, Mohammad Shahzad. So this is going to be a very interesting battle, and I wonder if the reputation of Shahzad will just make Mujib's arm shake a bit. That's the last ball of the last over. A little bit of bat on it. And a Salu Reza for Isanulla. Here we go. Oh, over extra cover. Will that go all the way? No, it's another Salu Reza. And Mohammad Shahzad tells Mujib, hey, I'm the boss here.
Cracking shot. Again, that little bit of width that we were talking about. He feeds on that. And with only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle, and both of them on the onside, that was meat and drink for the big fella.
Yeah, where do you place those 2 boundary fielders? That's the key here. Only 2. But Mohammad Shahzad's so clever. He spots those spaces where he can hit the ball in the air. And, of course, along the ground for him, always an easy single. That's very important. Don't make him run too quickly. He's worth his weight in boundaries.
That's a lot of boundaries. There's that 4 over extra cover. Wonderful fast hands. Again, front foot just splaying a little bit to give him the width to manoeuvre that ball.
There's going to be no respite from Isanulla as well. It's on the first over.
Subtle change in the field with Isanulla on strike. When Shahzad was on strike, there was no one in front of square saving one. Now there is at mid-wicket.
Oh, that's not a very clever ball. So long on and deep square. The two boundary fielders, both on the leg side. Something nice and classic about that on drive. Not easy for spinners to actually turn the ball with the new ball. So I just wonder if, as a strategy, you tend to play straight anyway, presuming that there's not going to be too much spin. Well, most players would have taken two there, but Shahzad once again quite happy to just amble across for a single. He'll get his boundary opportunities. He's not too worried. Forget about the quick twos.
Oh, big shout for LBW, and the finger goes up. Mujib strikes in his first over. Isanullah goes. The ball seemed to hurry on to him a little bit. He was trapped on the crease, and I must say, from up here in the commentary position, that looked very adjacent.
Well, it did look plumb. I don't think the umpire hesitated too much. Big appeal too. Wonder what happened there. He was certainly caught. Didn't move his feet either forward or back. Little half-cock there. And I think it... did he play for spin? Was it the mystery thing? Yeah, well, it just... Yeah, maybe leg stump. But what did he play for? Played for a bit of a leg spin. Played outside the line. Didn't quite work out for Isanullah. And we probably agree with the umpire. So, Isanullah returns 11 from 6, 19 for 1.
Fourteen deliveries.
Yeah, the big strong boy, isn't he? So just the one ball left in this over. And even though Mujib went for a few runs before that, but he strikes consistently. And to fool somebody like Isanullah, who should know his deliveries, we'll have to give it to him. Well done, Mujib. Only 17, but such a force in Afghanistan cricket. So, Cameron, don't play for the spin. Almost. Well bowled, Mujib.
End of the over, 19 for 1. And deciding to bat in this clash against Nangarhar Leopards today. And already a wicket down.
Yeah, well, Isanullah was looking very good, assured. So the team will be sad to see him back in the dugout. McClenaghan gets a second over. Just a little cleaning up to do near the side screen. And let's see what Mohammad Shahzad can now show us. So exciting to watch.
Again, no width offered by McClenaghan. Fielders outside the circle for Shahzad at deep backward square leg and third man. Third man has moved a little bit finer than he was for Isanullah in the first over.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Brian. However, when he does choose to ramp, third man, even as McClenaghan runs in, is even finer. Yeah, they're on to him. That's for sure. I think Venki Prasad and the others would have spotted the fact that he likes to ramp. They haven't quite bowled a ball short enough for that one yet, though.
Yeah, this is the surface that was used for match one on Friday, but as Alistair Campbell observed in his pitch report before play today, a lot of the grass that was present for match one has been shaved, so it's much more of a traditional Sharjah strip now.
I've got to say, Shahzad's been properly patient. He hasn't really thrown his bat around when the ball did not allow it. And I quite like this patient side of him as well. And credit to McClenaghan for bowling according to plan so far.
The other thing about Shahzad, of course, is that he knows he can afford to be patient because he's got the shots and he's got the ability to increase his strike rate later on in the innings. He can make up for a slow start. Not a lot of players can do that to the same extent that Mohammad Shahzad can. But of course, Mitch McClenaghan and Mujib, two high-class international bowlers. In franchise cricket, generally there's a weak link somewhere in there among the fourth or fifth bowler that you don't always get in international cricket, of course. Field changing over for the left-hander. Short extra cover and a slip in position now.
Sweet sound from the bat.
Well, there's an indication about what Cameron Delport thinks about this surface, hitting on the up there. Let's have another look at the wicket to have gone down. Isanulla. Just see the wicketkeeper moving towards the leg side. Just a suggestion, possibly, that it could have gone past leg stump, but the umpire decided it would have hit leg stump, and hence the finger went up.
Yeah, when you take a look at it again, you feel Isanulla was perhaps a touch unlucky.
Oh, well fielded, very well fielded indeed at mid-on. That's Ben Cutting, the captain, saved a certain boundary.
Well, he's a big boy, Ben Cutting, and he took a couple of steps to his right, and you could almost sense the reluctance. Should I dive here? And he did, and got to the ball. There it is again, just a reluctant dive, but he timed it well and stopped 3 runs. In fact, the batsmen were a little hesitant. They finally did cross over. So just a single where it could have been 4. Well done, skipper.
Loss of patience from Shahzad, gets some fortune. End of the over and a good over too. 21 for 1 in 3 overs. Paktia Panthers winning the toss, deciding to bat. 21 for 1. Remember, we're still in the power play, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Slip in position. Cameron Delport on strike.
I still like the fact that Mohammad Shahzad chose to bat first. He obviously trusts his own abilities, his reading of the conditions here, and trusts the rest of his batting side as well. I've got to say that they lost a match they should have won after scoring 218, so maybe you can say that the bowlers let him down a bit, but you've also got to hand it over to Kabul for getting that 219 to win. But just the show of confidence is very pleasing for me.
Shahzad giving himself a little bit of room to hit over the offside, and Mujib, seeing him making that movement, tucks him up. It's a good little cat and mouse battle between the two.
You know, so often skippers tend to move the bowlers around very quickly at the top, but I'm glad that here Ben Cutting's given McClenaghan 2, has given Mujib 2.
And again, that ball that skids on, it did for Isanulla, and thankfully from Cameron Delport's perspective, that was definitely heading down the leg side.
Well, Mujib certainly darting it in. Forget about spin. It's almost like a gentle medium pace here. He's got to find the right length, which he has been.
Sometimes on a surface like this, which is absolutely devoid of grass, if the ball doesn't hit the seam and it hits the actual leather, it can just skid on. Almost gives the impression of speeding up off the surface. It can't physically do that, of course, but sometimes it does feel to the batsman that that is the case.
Yeah, too short, cut away. Just when I said he found decent length, but that was the key always, because the ball's not going to spin so much earlier on. And if you bowl it too short, then all sorts of choices are open. Once he found the gap, Delport found the Salu Reza.
Just what Delport was looking for. Threading the eye of the needle there as well, between backward point and short third man. And again, this time in front of square, but the result is the same. Fog maximum 4. The end of 4 overs, it's 31 for 1. Well, we might be in the inaugural edition of the Gul Baha Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fog, but already it's making an impression all around the world. Look at all these broadcasters who are showing the action here from the Shahzad Cricket Stadium.
Well, that's many parts of the world, and wherever you are watching this, I hope you're enjoying the action, because we're certainly very, very keenly following the progress of Afghanistan cricket from just the last 15 years or so. They've reached now full ICC test status, and it's just great for them. The kind of enthusiasm they have, the strength, the fearlessness in their batting particularly. Oh, it's been terrific.
Naveen ul Haq into the attack. 3 overs for 13. And the wicket of Karim Sadiq yesterday in the victory that the Nangarhar Leopards enjoyed against Kandahar, and also 3 catches. The former Afghanistan under-19 player and one of a bevy of talented youngsters on show in this tournament.
Yeah, the ball was following him in the field, wasn't it? Missed one catch, a sky, I think it was a deep mid-wicket, and then took 3. So he had a good day in the field, all things considered. And also bowled well. I think Venki Prasad mentioned when I was chatting with him, I said, who do you want to pick out? He said Naveen, and he did very well, without doubt.
Thump. Fog maximum boundary for Mohammad Shahzad. It was too short, that one. It asked to be hit with no cover out on the offside boundary. Really was there for the picking.
Yeah, the good thing there was that he kept it down, because every once in a while there's what, 4 people on the offside, and if you try and go over them and the bat sort of turns just a bit, you could get caught. But Mohammad Shahzad played that very well into the ground, and once he found the gap, of course, he had so much strength in that it had to be a Fog boundary.
Third man and fine leg up in the circle. Mid-wicket has now moved to backward square leg. Deep square leg has moved to deep mid-wicket. Taking the pace off then, Naveen, quite cleverly.
Now, Delport, of course, under normal circumstances, thought, hey, that's a run, and I'm taking, backing up like halfway down the pitch, but I think just has to know Mohammad Shahzad a little better. Shahzad wanted no play in that single. So forget about it. I'm going to get a boundary ball soon enough.
Up and over mid-off. And over the boundary at long off for a Fog maximum 6. That's Shahzad at his best. Inside out, really clever shot. And the maximum result.
I suspect the ball tailed in just a bit, but he read it well. Of course, it was full. Just went through with it and sailed over long off. Long was in, so he knew that would be safe as long as he caught enough of that. But still very well connected. Can't find the right length. Naveen, too full, compensated, just a shade short. And how expertly was that cut? Mohammad Shahzad in full flow. Loved watching him.
Wonderful stuff. But Naveen making the error. No cover at all out on the offside boundary. Expensive first over this. There's the 6, and that really was a clever shot because he used his wrists and opened the face of the bat to hit that over mid-off because he knew long on was in position, and if he'd gone just to the onside of the stumps, he risked possibly being caught down there on the boundary. End of the over, 14 from it, 5 gone, 45 for 1.
For Mujib, 4 bowlers employed so far. McLennan 2 overs, 13 runs up. Naveen was expensive in his opening over, conceding 14 runs. Ben Cutting was really special in the last game. That in favor of the Leopards, as a captain leading from the front, picking up a 5er. Mohammad Shahzad going pretty good. Ready 4 wickets for him in his T20 career. Experience behind him. Oh, that's a good delivery. Well, let's go down to Hamid and let's see who's got.
Sharafuddin Ashraf Num Sara Khode Tol Afghanistan balad day. څه فکر کې دا APL افغانستان پریمیر لیگ ستاسو لپاره څه معنا لري او خپل ایکسپیرینس موږ سره کم شیر کول غواړي؟
مننه. بالکل لکه څنګه چې د APL د افغانستان د ټول افغانستان ولس لپاره یو ډیر غټ لاسته راوړنه ده. خاص توګه باندې موږ لوبغاړي داخلي لوبغاړي یو ډیر ښه فرصت دی چې موږ خپل استعداد وښیو، ځکه چې نړیوال لوبغاړي چې دغو سره لوبه کول، ډریسینګ روم سره د هغو سره اشنا کول او ایکسپیرینس اخیستل د موږ لپاره یو ډیر په زړه پورې ځای دی. نو واقعا دا موږ لپاره یو ډیره ګټه کوي د آینده کرکټ لپاره.
ډیر ښه. څه وایي چې دغه تاسو سره په ټیم کې شاهد افریدي دی، د سینور لوبغاړي دي، دوی نه څه زده کړي دي تاسو او څه پیغام لري هغه ځوانانو ته چې کوم په افغانستان کې اوس مهال تاسو ټول لوبغاړي ګوري؟
بالکل شاهد افریدي واقعا یو ډیر غټ نوم دی، ډیر کرکټ په تاریخ کې د خپل یو لاسته راوړنې دي، د هغه ایکسپیرینس موږ لپاره ډیر مهم دی چې هغه نه زده کړه وکړو چې څنګه په دې سچویشن کې څنګه ځان کنټرول کو او پریشر حالت څنګه کنټرول کو، او یعنی د هغه ایکسپیرینس نه ګټه واخلو. مهم شی موږ ته دا ده چې د هغه ایکسپیرینس زده کړه وکړو او همداسې هم چې کوم لوبغاړي یا د افغانستان کې ناست دي هغو دپاره چې دا لوبې ګوري، یعنی چې کولی شي هر څوک دلته ځان ورسوي چې خواري وکړي او ځان وښیي. او ټول نه مهمه موږ APL همدا دی چې د افغانان دي او باید چې راسي دا لوبې کامیابه کړو، ځکه دا زموږ آینده دی. نو د افغانستان نوم په دنیا کې هم داسې ځلیږي.
ډیره مننه شرف. So here was Sharafuddin Ashraf, and he shared his experience with Shahid Afridi amongst the other senior players, and he's very excited. And this is the best platform for the youngsters back home in Afghanistan. I hope we can see some more good talent in upcoming APL. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Hamid, having a chat with Ashraf. Meanwhile, the going has been pretty good, and the 50 up as well. So they are really going strong. This partnership is building. They have done well, the left and right combination. And joining me in the comm box is once again Alistair Campbell. Welcome, Alistair.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, Mohammad Shahzad, he's such an important figure in this side. Whenever he gets them off to a fast start, they've got potential to get a big score because he scores so quickly. He's unorthodox, very difficult for bowlers to get their lines and lengths against him. He's always moving around the crease and hits at 360 degrees. That, however, is one of his weak areas. We've seen that over the years. Not adept at playing the hook shot, the pull shot. And that's why he's, over the years, sort of backed away and tried to play the ramp shot as opposed to play that pull shot. On that occasion, a swat and a miss.
Yeah, you're right, Lester. I think the key is going back and across. You know, you see his feet, the back foot just is stationed out there, glued to the crease, not much movement back and across, and that's the reason at times difficult for him. That's the reason, I think, good thinking here from Ben Cutting, banging in shot against him. Delivery once again, just a whip on the onside. Will be on strike, Shahzad. End of the power play, 55 for 1.
$55 for 1 at the end of the power play, so nigh on 10 to the over. That's probably where you want to be in these conditions. That's what they would talk about as a batting unit. Lose 1, maybe 2 in that first power play, but you've got to take full advantage of the field set. Just 2 people allowed outside the circle. So around about that 55 to 65 is probably where you'll be aiming. So they're spot on. Winning the toss, Mohammad Shahzad electing to bat first and making a very good fist of it thus far. 28 of just 19 deliveries, 15 off 11 for Cameron Delport. Zahir Khan now into the attack. Left arm wrist spinner, 17 matches, economy rate of under 7.5. That's brilliant. 25 wickets and a best of 5 for 19. Very difficult to read. He's one of those blokes that, yes, can bowl a few bad balls, go for a few runs, but you're guaranteed that he's going to cause some trouble and take some wickets.
That's pulled away, shot. A lot of time here for Mohammad Shahzad. He's got a start here, he's well set. Can't be bowling shot to him. Not a great start here for Zahir.
Yeah, too short and put away easily. He bowled a long up the other day to Ashgar Afghan, who hit it straight down square leg's throat. Not so on this occasion. Very first delivery. It's been pounced on and put away by Mohammad Shahzad.
Yes, he's been in great form. Really batted well in the Asia Cup recently. So continuing the good form, Mohammad Shahzad getting 100 versus India. A one-day encounter in the Asia Cup. And he's got his own method, but very, very effective. And this partnership worth 40 now. This is how he hit that pull shot. This time using the depth of the crease was pretty short. And had to be dealt that way. But along with that, he's also sensible, Lester. This is important after a boundary, now rotating the strike, not getting carried away.
That's what dogged him early on in his career. Just got carried away playing a shorter ball and used to play some brilliant innings, more cameos. Now he's been able to bring that sensible nature into his game and not only can find the boundary, not only can be unorthodox, but also he's just added that other dimension, and that's what makes him such a good player now.
First game that Paktia played, they amassed 218, and despite that, they lost the game. But today, again, I thought a very positive decision by Mohammad Shahzad. At the time of toss, had a chat with him, did mention they want to bat again, just see the conditions here. You mentioned about the surface, a bit of lesser grass today. It's the same surface where match number 1 was played on day 1. So, really, I think this is a good move because they want to get runs on the board.
Well, as I said at the toss, I think this is a better wicket than the one we played on yesterday. Just looked a bit smoother, a bit of a sheen on it, a bit harder, less tacky. So I'm not surprised that he's batted first, but I did say also that yesterday both games were won by the side chasing. That's always got to be in the back of your mind. Conditions won't change that much, same for both sides really. It's whether when you're setting, do you get a little bit too greedy, lose a few wickets and lose your way. That's the only thing they've got to guard against, and they've done a pretty good job thus far in these first few overs. Mohammad Shahzad just needs to go on. 7 bowls, 63 for 1. battle in conditions here in Sharjah, but there's always a fantasy team as well, where you can go to www.myteam11.com and create your own fantasy team, test your skills and win big and real cash as well. So don't be afraid, get on there and start picking your players and see if you can get that combination right that all coaches and captains aim for. Be your own coach and captain at home and see who you can get in your team and who you can get to perform. And like I said, you'll win big and real cash as well. Naveen ul-Haq back into the attack. 1 over thus far. Conceded 14, but expensive. But now you'll have a bit more protection because the power play overs are over.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Terrific. Going some distance there. That's a fog maximum.
Spagiza! Well, that's what that is. Cameron Delport, he played in the Spagiza League in Afghanistan. Hit some big blows there, and today, well, it doesn't get better than that. Brilliantly played down the ground. Doesn't matter what protection you have inside the ropes. That went halfway up the bleachers. He can hit it, and he can hit it a long way. He's got big guns, Cameron Delport. It's a big unit. And I tell you what, when he goes after it, stand by.
Yeah, to retrieve the ball will take some time because it's gone some distance. But just see that clean strike. Beautiful. Just see the face of the bat. Great balance as well. Minimum effort and maximum result for him. Absolutely brilliant execution. Naveen has been expensive. It's going to be a learning curve for him. Bowling in these conditions against top quality batsmen. Not going to be easy for the young man. Got to rely on variations. That's going to be important. Keep an eye on the run rate as well, which is hovering around 10 at the moment. That's the reason Mohammad Shahzad knew that if they get off to a good start, might be amassing once again that 200 mark today, or crossing it even. Sikandar Raza played really well the first game.
Well, we've got a break in play as well. Afghanistan Cricket Board would like to thank all its sponsors for the contribution to this Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League. Snixa Sports, Fog Scent, Channel 4, 89.1, Quick Ticketing, Kalpawak Mobile, Kebab Al Afghani, Al Zara Medical Centre, Sport Connection and Khalij Times. That's how the table stands at the moment. Nangarhar Leopards 2 points, as well as Bulk Legends and Kabul Zwanan. Net run rate separating those top 3 teams, and then the Paktia Panthers and the Kandahar Knights yet to get off the mark in this tournament for 2018.
All settled now, and it's going to be once again Naveen, this partnership, exactly 50, worth 50 of 32 deliveries. Just come at good pace. Delport on strike. Wearing his pace this time, much better, but very sensible from the left and right combination.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of that on this particular surface, varying your pace, looking for the Yorker as well, because I tell you what, it's a good surface. We saw 218 in the night game, the first game of the tournament. And the scores yesterday just a little bit lower, and I think that was because of the conditions, but I think we're back to a very, very good flat surface here with the ball coming on. So look out, because I tell you what, this could be another 200 score if a couple of batsmen get in.
Yeah, you're right, because just seeing the kind of start and the kind of batting to follow, definitely eyeing the 200 mark here. 11 runs per over from here on, 209. So that should be a decent score as well. Always pressure once you're chasing anything in the region of 200 plus. They are on their way here, the Paktia Panthers.
Yeah, a bit of improvisation, up and over, and Soloriza. Mohammad Shahzad is in top form here today. Gave himself a bit of room. It was an attempt at slower ball bouncer, so didn't have much pace to work with, but still was able to get it square of the man at third man and away for 4.
Love the way he makes that room. Just see the way he moves back and knew exactly what he was doing. Improvising beautifully, never easy for the bowler, trying to follow him, but he was up to it. Eyeing the field, knows exactly where the fielders are.
Yeah, much more comfortable giving himself room and playing that sort of stroke than getting inside the line and playing the hook shot too. The short deliveries, Mohammad Shahzad, 11 off the first 3 balls. They're going to run here. Will it be 2 or will it get to the boundary? Just holds up inside the ropes. So another 2 to the total. This is turning out to be a very, very good over for the Panthers.
I think they've got to try something different because Naveen has been expensive. They've got to try some different options. Just probably change the pace. They've tried Zaire as well. But I think spinners might have a much better say on this kind of track. Really not much for the seamers here. Unless you're bowling right in the block hole or changing your pace, showing those variations, which are so very important. Banging in shot. That's a good delivery. That's exactly what he's mentioning. This is exactly what he's got to try very often. Be consistent with that.
Yeah, trying to repeat the dose. Another slower ball bouncer. And probably would have been better served just trying to ramp it again. But on this occasion, trying to play, well, how would you describe that? A swat shot. That's all that I can think of that comes to mind.
Well, Lester, in this format, you've got to try anything. Almost everything. That's important. Oh, once again, was in the air. But finding the gap, Mohammad Shahzad. Not
Start here for the double Ps, the Paktia Panthers. 8 overs bowled, 80 for 1. Mohammad Shahzad, the captain, 44, just 27 deliveries. Cameron Delport, good support. He's 24 or 15. And to tell you what, they've got to take a wicket here. They've got to try and make some inroads, the Nangarhar Leopards, because they're under the pump. That was the last ball of the previous over. Mohammad Shahzad down on one knee and swatting it away for 4. Expensive over from Naveen ul Haq. He really took some punishment in that last over. AJ Mehra goes and gets a cup of coffee. Hamid Hassan alongside. Bowler's graveyard, Archie. I bet you quite like him being in the aircon and talking about it rather than bowling.
Thank you so much, Campbell. It's good to have you here. And it's a fantastic game on so far. 81 for 1. Almost run rate 10 runs per over. Had a little bit chat with Sharafuddin Ashraf. And he shared. Wow, that's a beautiful shot. It's for 6 runs. For maximum 6 runs. Spagiza.
There it is, Spagiza. For all of you watching, they want to know what Spagiza mean. That means 6 maximum, and that brings up the 50 for Mohammad Shahzad. What an innings it has been. He's deposited the ball to all corners of the ground here this afternoon. It's been ungainly at times, but mighty effective. Down on one knee, scoops it over mid-wicket. It just made it, but all you need to do is clear the boundary. And there's some more flamboyance from Shahzad. You've played with him a long time. How do you bowl to him in this form?
Oh, I always attacked him. I never tried to give him a room. He's a batsman. If you give him a width, he will hit you easy. So it's better to stuck him in his body and don't allow him to open his hands. If you give him a width, he can hit you easy everywhere. And right now, he's doing fabulous job for his team. He's leading from the front. Mohammad Shahzad, 51 on 29 deliveries. Such a wonderful start for Paktia.
17 runs off the previous over from Naveen ul Haq. 10 off this over so far. Still a ball remaining. So they're up with the run rate. They're 10 and over, and they'll want to just accelerate a wee bit, you'll have to think. And if these two stay in for a bit more, there'll be a bit more carnage. Just the single to win the over. 9 bowled, 91 for 1. How many can they get? 12 and over, 223, 14 and over, plenty.
Oh, you never know. It's still 11 overs left, 9 wickets remaining, and they're both striking very well. Almost 72 partnerships so far. If they go like this, maybe 220 will be get easy.
Yeah, he's been so good today, Mohammad Shahzad. Shots all around the ground. And that's another boundary. It wasn't intended in that direction. He's such a strong bloke, though, Cameron Delport. And that's a fog 4.
It's a bad start for Zahir. Very short ball. First, pitch it up, middle in the wicket, hit it for 4 runs. Such a good batting from Delport.
Powered away through the offside. Another fog 4, another boundary. Too short again from Zahir Khan. Plenty of time for Delport to rock back and crack it away.
Oh yes, he's on it. The way he's batting, he's unstoppable. Very good batting from Delport. The way he's playing right now, the almost run rate is above 10. Zahir is struggling. It's a good delivery, good comeback.
Yeah, he was under the pump. 2 boundaries off the first 2 deliveries. That is a good comeback. Because as a bowler, you would know this, Hamid. As soon as you go for boundaries early in your over, you're always playing catch-up.
Yeah, you have to cover it because 8 runs in first 2 balls. You have to worry about 4 next deliveries. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery.
What a delivery that is. I said earlier, this bloke can go for a few, but he bowls some magic balls. None better than this. It's the googly, it's back through the gate, and Cameron Delport leaves a big gap between bat and pad. Zahir Khan has no problems finding it. Really good comeback from the young man. 2 boundaries off the first 2 deliveries, and he's come back brilliantly. On a length, trying to play it through the offside, didn't read it, didn't pick it, and it clatters into middle stump. Terrific stuff. They needed that breakthrough, did the Nangarhar Leopards. Cameron Delport, well, he's played a decent hand. He's gone for 35, 99 for 2 now. They needed that, the Nangarhar Leopards. They were under the pump big time. Delport and Mohammad Shahzad were going great guns. And they've got a breakthrough. Sikandar Raza comes to the crease, fresh off a brilliant innings on the opening night in the losing cause, but his 79 of 40 balls was outstanding. And he comes in with a bit of a platform having been built. And he can really, from the get-go, start trying to play his shots. What a comeback it was, though, from Zahir Khan. 2 boundaries off the first 2 balls, and then he's bowled absolute brilliant delivery. The googly and Cameron Delport all at sea.
Yeah, he couldn't pick it up on time, and I should say a wonderful piece of bowling from... Oh, what a delivery! Almost beat him for the catch.
Yeah, another googly, and Sikandar Raza, no idea.
He came very strong. That's a good line in length. It's very difficult to play like a bowler Zahir, If you pitch the ball on right area, you cannot play him easy, and he will not give you runs. Oh, that's a good delivery.
Brilliant comeback. Just one ball remaining. He's got a wicket this over, a huge wicket. Cameron Delport. And another dot ball. 10 overs bowled. We're halfway. 99 for 2.
Paktia Panthers, powered by Mohammad Shahzad, have made a power-packed start. Not quite as rapid as the start in their opening game, actually, against Kabul, where they brought up their 100 in just the 10th over, but still power to add with 8 wickets in hand.
Well, the 99, Brian, you're real rough. I mean, just under 100. But I'm delighted that Mohammad Shahzad is still there. I'm a big fan of just the way he goes about it, the fearlessness, and of course the slightly unorthodox attitude. Brilliant. Create space and then has to reach out again on the off. But a decent hand by Cameron. And Sikandar almost done it with the first delivery. If he can get stuck into it like he did the last time around. Watched by lots of fans. Thank you for joining us here at the Sharjah Stadium. Looking wonderful. And of course, watching around the world. I hope you've been appreciating what Mohammad Shahzad's been doing, and Sikandar Raza was even better the last match.
100 up with that single to Mohammad Shahzad. Field changing over for Sikandar Raza. For Shahzad, there was a third man, almost deep backward point actually, but that field has now come back into the circle. I suppose the advantage that Sikandar Raza has here is that because Mohammad Shahzad has got Paktia off to such a flying start, he can just take a couple of deliveries to have a look, just assess conditions before he starts to go hard.
Let's not forget they have Shahid Afridi as well. Didn't quite work in the first match. They had a few overs to go, but still to come. Squeeze it away. They're taking a quick single. You don't want to do that to Mohammad Shahzad. He may be gone there. Had to run wide. Lost at least a yard or two because of that change of direction. Oh, this could be terrible. Why the quick single?
Well, it was Shahzad's call. So he went, but goodness me, he ran at a crazy angle. And he's going to be out by quite some distance, I think. Indeed he is. What a disaster for Paktia. He was trying to get round Ben Cutting, but it meant he ran, well, almost diagonally towards the crease. And that is going to be a very straightforward decision for the third umpire. Disaster for Paktia. They've lost 2 wickets in quick succession. Shahzad, successive half-centuries for him, but he hasn't gone on with the job. And that's a wicket thrown away by Paktia. Run out. And so 100 for 3 now, Paktia, in the 11th over.
That's just disaster for the Paktia Panthers. Mohammad Shahzad going so well. And I had said during the first stint, Brian, that you don't want to, well, you could argue that it was his call, but it was a brilliant pickup and a direct throw. And Mohammad Shahzad also made it look like he was impeded a bit. I'm not blaming anyone here, but he had to run way wide. We'll try and show you that soon as Samula joins Raza. Both are new to the crease on no score. And this is a wonderful opportunity for Nangarhar to get back into the match and maybe limit them to 160, 70, because the 200 was on a couple of deliveries ago, and all of a sudden, of course, I think they've been set back big time here.
Sami Shinwari in at number 5. Big shout for LBW. Raza wanted the single. He was sent back by Shinwari. A little cutter from Ben Cutting, and I think it probably would have bounced over the top of leg stump.
And I wonder if I also heard 2 sounds, but it was certainly the height issue there for sure. I'm sure we're going to look at it again. But it's already a twin disaster for the Paktia Panthers, and this could have been the 3rd in very quick time. Well, he survives.
Well, they can smell blood in the water here. Can Nangarhar now? Let's have another look at the run out. And watch Shahzad here. He's actually avoiding Raza, but running at a crazy angle. And that's what's cost him his wicket.
He almost gave up and didn't really, well, I'm not expecting to dive, but he didn't lunge either. This is their opportunity to take some quick 2s if they wish, not this time though. So 11 gone, it's 101 for 3.
Completely in the last couple of overs. Paktia were flying, but Cameron Delport and Mohamed Shahzad departing in successive overs, and all of a sudden the picture has changed. Ramat Shah is going to have a bowl with his off spin from the Sharjah club end, and leg spin as well. He can mix it up.
Yeah, I'm particularly disappointed. Mohammad Shahzad's my man, and while he was there, I was really enjoying the proceedings, but we'll have to see how Paktia dig themselves out of the little hole right here. Went back to that, had to hurry through. Will they take the 2? One was keen, Raza not at all.
Let's have one more look at that run out, because as you can see, there's a few jitters out in the middle for Paktia with their running between the wickets. And have a look at this again. That's actually Shahzad's call, so he could quite easily have said to Sikandar Raza, no. The ball was behind square. So I guess you could argue that Mohamed Shahzad has to take his share of the blame for that, but it really was a wicket tossed away.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of pushing the point here a bit, but not only was he avoiding Raza to begin with, there it is, that's the leg before decision, first ball. Oh, well, maybe the height wasn't such a bad shout. So just back to that run out. Not only did he have to avoid Raza to begin with, that threw him off in terms of the angle, and then Ben Cutting on the other side was also moving, sort of pedaling backwards. And then Mohammad Shahzad had to work his way around that as well. And he was fuming at the end of that. Well, we'll have to credit the fielder with a good pick up and throw. Oh, misses everything. Raza jumping out, and really the keeper ought to be a little more alert. Sorry to be a little rough on him. Easy stumping opportunity, we think.
Yeah, Shafiqullah, he'll be cursing himself. It went between bat and pad. Missed leg stump. Shafiqullah missed it as well. They're the sort of bread and butter opportunities that a keeper should be taking. And now there's the retribution from a batting point of view. You give a man a let off, and then he clobbers you for 6.
It was very full. Half volley, easily put away. But still, Raza carrying on his good form. How much is he going to make them pay for that let off? And some blow that over long off.
It's a wonderful fog maximum.
Yeah, very good fielding effort there, backward point.
115. Follow him, I'm sure he'd be very happy for that to take place at the moment. This is why. It's a nice height as well, but he's just slow to react.
Yeah, it was the wrong one. The keeper didn't read it. Oh, got him! Well, this is just getting bad to worse for the Paktia Panthers. 2-4 for that reverse sweep, Sikandar Raza. You never blame players for trying that shot because usually it fetches plenty of runs, but that was 2-4. He missed it completely. And this is now a dangerous moment for the Paktia Panthers.
I'm not sure it was a percentage shot from Sikandar Raza for a number of reasons. Not least because of the line of the ball, but also there were two fielders backward of square on the offside, at backward point and short third man. So, well, Sikandar Raza will be left to reflect on that as he makes his way back to the pavilion. Out for 9, and Paktia crumbling a little bit here, 115 for 4. Zahir Khan, he started off being hit for a couple of 4s by Cameron Delport. Shahid Afridi is the new batsman. Gets off the mark straight away, but Zahir Khan has bounced back beautifully and he's dismissed Sikandar Raza. And Raza will be left to reflect that it was the wrong choice of shot.
Well, that's the thing with innovation or unorthodox play. When you get away with it, it looks terrific and people are full of praise. But when you miss it, people, you know, the normal reaction is why? But yes, it's a terrific comeback for Zahir without question. Well sent back by Shahid. You've got to understand the ability and, if I may dare say so, Shahid, the age of the non-striker, the one with you.
Well, we saw him in that opening match on Friday during his brief time at the crease, struggling to turn very quickly. He's had knee issues.
It was a good opportunity for Shahid Afridi to live up to his superstar status in Afghanistan, of course, rest of the world as well. He's got plenty of time. But how well have Nangarhar come back? That effort in the field, the pick up and throw to get rid of Mohammad Shahzad, such a key. And then Sikandar Raza, we'll have to say, injudicious. 3 quick strikes. Ooh, Shahid Afridi not moving his feet at all. Wanted to be a little clever. Want to take a run now of the potential overthrow.
Just 2 singles and a wicket off the over. Well, I think that's highly optimistic with a left arm bowler bowling over the wicket, appealing for LBW. A leg bye's given. End of the over, 117, 118 for 4. Well, this has been a very interesting innings so far. They were 99 for 1, were Paktia in the 10th over. Let's have a look at the wickets. First to go was Ishanullah, LBW to Mujib, trapped on the back foot. And then this really good bit of work from Shahidi at backward point, but a poorly judged run. There's Sikandar Raza, bowled round his legs. Cameron Delport was bowled through the gate by Zahir. It's a good time for Naveen to come back into the attack. He's been hammered so far, but with two fresh batsmen at the crease, he'll just have an opportunity to settle a little bit, I rather fancy.
I wonder now what the reputation of Shahid Afridi has to do with Naveen. He'll know not to pitch full. Afridi loves that. Didn't quite catch that at all. Luckily for him, just a single. Could have so easily gone to the fielders deeper on the leg side. Yeah, from Brian, from something close to 200, I think they'll, unless these two get going, could be struggling for 160. We'll see how the match pans out, but it's been a remarkable turnaround. You said 99 for 1, 119 for 4. The dugout must be trembling.
Absolutely. It'll change now with Naveen just wanting a word with Ben Cutting. Hasn't been a change in field, maybe just talking tactics with his captain.
Yeah, so important to know where to bowl to which batsman.
Yeah, 2 overs for 31, Naveen, before this. Just hadn't got his line, hadn't got his length. His length in particular was all over the shot. Predominantly short, too short really. The ball was sitting up to be hit.
Of course, when he bowled it slightly fuller, Mohammad Shahzad took him for a 6. But so far it's been a good comeback. Lots of pressure on Samiullah and Afridi.
Hooked away for a Fog maximum 6. Spagiza.
Yeah, we like Fog Spakizas. Got inside the line. Didn't try and hit that too hard, which was the key. Utilized the pace of the bowler. Shinwari, well played. Take a hit again, got inside and just swung it around. Ball was tailing in. Naveen likes the ball coming in usually and paid the penalty for missing his line.
Oh, what a lovely shot that is. Naveen dropping short and pulled for 6. And he pitches up and he's punched down the ground over mid-off for 6 more. Beautiful stuff.
Special shot that. Naveen has been struggling with length all the way through his spell today. Mohammad Shahzad took him apart when he was short and then fuller, and here too. Oh, just look at this shot. Nice confident stride forward on the up. It was slightly full, way over long off onto the canopy. That's another ball, I think, lost him for a moment. Have to come back with the ball box. Fabulous shot, very special.
Yes, Sami Shinwari, the top run scorer in the domestic one-day tournament in Afghanistan in July of this year. 398 runs in 6 matches. That includes 200s and 16 sixes for the Speengar region. Here's the first 6. Helped on its way, really. And then the bowler trying to compensate by bowling that fuller length. Shinwari was waiting for it, and that really was a delightful punch down the ground. Ball was lost. We've had the charade of the 4th umpire coming out with a spare box of balls, and just as they've chosen a new ball, the ball's been found.
I'm glad you were keeping an eye on it, but it's been an expensive tournament in terms of balls lost. Lost as in over the roof of the stadium. Okay, last ball of this expensive over once again by Naveen. His second spell hasn't quite worked either.
edged, and 4 more. Well, when it rains, it pours for poor old Naveen. And the end of a very expensive over, 17 from it, 135 for 4.
I'd mentioned earlier that Venkatesh Prasad was full of praise of Naveen, particularly as a special talent. Oh, Shahid Afridi playing completely across to that one from Zahir. And missing it again, could have so easily taken the inside edge. So he's not too pleased, as we can see a little bit of a frown, saying, my boy Naveen not finding his right length, but he should be pleased with what Zahir has done. Bowled very well.
Well, if you got runs for swinging hard, Afridi would have 12 from the last 2 deliveries, I rather fancy.
Well, he has been throwing everything at it and has just come in on 2 from 7. I suppose he's feeling the pressure, only 5 overs and a bit left now. So if they have to get to that 175, 180 mark that may make them feel safe, it has to go into the boundary. And this one edged away. I think the fielder will win the battle. Wow, no! Tragedy at backward point for Nangarhar.
Well, you can't argue with the commitment, just the execution that was wrong. Full length dive, but unfortunately there was no need for it because Mitch McClenaghan was following through on the deep cover boundary, and you can see McClenaghan would have got there. But as it is, in goalkeeping parlance, he's pushed it round the post.
Well, I hope he's okay though, because not for the first time, in terms of sliding and diving, they've been found a little short. Their knees largely getting stuck in the turf, as happened then.
The irony of that as well was that it was Hashmatullah Shahidi who was the man who affected that brilliant run out of Mohammad Shahzad.
What did they say about a leveller? I feel for you, Shahidi.
That felt good on the bat for Afridi. He fancied running, but he managed to find extra cover.
I'd give him another 6 in terms of going for it, throwing everything at it. Just not finding the timing, Shahid Afridi. Last opportunity this over. And again, he cannot put bat to ball. Another fabulous over by Zahir. Only the one boundary. It's 139 for 4 after 15.
For 4. I tell you what, 200 still very much on the cards. They've had a little bit of a wobble, but pulled it back in the last couple of overs or so. 20 off 11 for Samuel Afridi. Just struggling somewhat. We saw that in the first game. Looked a bit rusty, but he's given himself a chance here to get going. 6 off 11 balls that he's faced thus far. Mitchell McClenaghan back into the attack, 2 overs, none for 13. He's been good up front, done his job. And now he's got to finish well, and knowing full well that they're going to be after him. Well, is he going to bowl? I think maybe the maths has not been done quite correctly by Ben Cutting. Wants to save him to bowl in the last 4 overs, so there's still 1 over to go before he'll use McClenaghan, probably from the other end as well. So it won't be Mitchell. It'll be Mujib. He's bowled 3 overs. Bit expensive today, got the wicket as well. So 1 over left for his spell.
Yeah, they read him well today. And they played him well, very sensibly, although he picked up 1 wicket, 1 important wicket. But overall, I think they've read him well. 11 runs per from here on, 193. As you mentioned, 200 still very much possible. They still have wickets in hand. Naveen has been in another bowler who's been very expensive. 3 overs, 48 runs. Oh, that's played fine. That should have been cut off. Will raise to the fence. Going to be a fork 4.
Yeah, Mitch has messed that one up. He's dived over it. Wasn't out the middle of the bat by any stretch of the imagination. Shahid Afridi, a healthy outside edge. And he had a lot of time to make some ground and try and cut it off. But he's just missed it. He's totally misjudged it. It's gone underneath him and gone for 4.
Sometimes it's not your day, you know, you try your best, but it's not your day, and that's been the case with Mujib. Was very impressive in the first game. Shahid Afridi just taking a bit of time, couldn't do much in the first game with the bat. And we shuffle across, played in the air, high up in the air. Just falling short of the fielder, will settle for 1.
Just not timing it, is he? Shahid Afridi struggling out there. In yesteryear, in his heyday, that length delivery would be out of the stadium, or at least on top of the roof.
A very good, clean striker. Much better, I think, the way they are picking those singles, getting the odd boundary as well in the way. Exactly how you've got to go about. Probably next over, they'll change gears.
Oh, he's given that a bit of air. The regulation off spinner. Directed. Should be maybe overthrows. No, Mujib reacted very quickly. So end of 16, 147 for 4 now. Two wickets for Zahir, 2 for 22. The spell of bowling, that was terrific amount of skill shown by him today. 1 wicket for Mujib and his 4 overs. A little expensive, 37 conceded. And we're in the business end, the back end of the innings. Cutting 5 wickets the other day. Can't help but think that he will bowl 2 of the remaining 4 overs. And Mitchell McClenaghan, the other 2. This is the directed, but he made it pretty comfortably. There was a ricochet and Mujib did really well to react and prevent another run being taken. That's confirmation of Mitchell McClenaghan. So he'll bowl 2 and we presume cutting the other 2. 2 for 13 thus far. Yeah, he smoked that. That's more like it. That's what we've come to see. Sparkiza.
What a shot and what a strike there. Knew exactly what the length was. Gets into a great position. Shahid Afridi, what he's known for. Brilliant strike, that one. Fork maximum, going the distance, coming from the meat of the blade. Great timing as well. And seeing it sail over the ropes. That should add to his confidence. The 8-6 so far of this game. The crowds here are delighted. One section out there, large numbers to watch. Probably this man, Shahid Afridi. He's a big name.
Whenever a legend gets into the twilight years, you always want as a spectator to just have a glimpse of what used to be. And I tell you what, that previous delivery, that was vintage Afridi. A short arm jab and it went a country mile. Brilliant start to the over. A fog maximum, and now McClenaghan under big pressure.
Changing his field as well. The fielder at deep square leg just coming inside the circle. Oh, that's a waiver delivery. Thinking was to bowl much fuller around the off stump. Hurting in his line on that occasion. Probably the reason is the fielding set on the onside with the fine leg and the square leg inside the circle. The next man padded up. This is the offside field, but just see the fielders, those two fielders, one beside the umpire and the short fine leg fielder. Two boundary riders on the on.
Another wide call. Tell you what, that was a bit tighter. Just thought maybe he might get away with that. Mitchell McClenaghan, he's just asking the umpire as well. Hey, hold on, ump. Wasn't that a wee bit inside the line, the guideline? The muscles bulging. Yeah, I just think when it went over, from that angle, it looks like it bounced outside the line, which it has. But when it's gone across, I think that it actually wasn't a wide. That's a great effort, really is. He had to make a lot of ground, dive forward. Terrific effort. Anton Devcic is there. We saw him take a brilliant catch the other day, retrieving it from outside the boundary. On this occasion, not able to get the hands underneath it. Change of pace, not picked by Afridi. And he got there, just not able to hang on.
But really so athletic, you know, such a good mover, so swift. Almost making it a brilliant catch on that occasion, getting his both hands to it. 3 wides already in this innings, 2 in this over. Samullah on strike, he's got a start, he's well set now. Once again, the same length that he's trying around the off stump. This time, a dot delivery.
Yeah, trying to bowl as full as possible. And if he's not bowling a Yorker, to mix it up with change of pace. Well, that's well executed. Just a little on the dangerous side because third man is up in the circle, so he doesn't want to be too wide. It allows the batsman to get any edge on it and get a boundary. So I'd prefer to see him bowling at the stumps, or if he is going to bowl wide, make sure third man is back.
Mixing his pace. Not timing it exactly the way he wanted. That's just settling for 1.
Third man up in the circle and a deep backward point in play. Hence this method of attack. Maybe third man should be back, and that man at deep backward point should be in the circle. It's an unorthodox field. It's something they would have discussed, and he's played so much T20 cricket around the world, Mitchell McClenaghan, so he'll know exactly where he needs to bowl and what field he wants. Club down the ground. Has he got enough on it? No. What a catch! What an absolute ripper by the captain, Ben Cutting. It doesn't get any better than that. Shahid Afridi would have thought that he had another Spageeza, but no, Spider-Man got in the way.
Absolutely brilliant. That's a treat to watch. Cutting the other day, bagged a 5er, this time special on the field. Just see coming to the beat of the blade. Afridi would have thought that ball was traveling. But just see that timing of the jump. Absolutely brilliant from the captain. Leading from the front, very well done. Near the ropes, never easy. Keeping his balance, keeping his composure. And a brief knock from Afridi comes to an end. Out for 19. It's 157 for 5. Some stunning cricket. Sharafuddin, the man who's walking in, joining Samullah. 54 runs, known for his bowling abilities as well. He's a good striker. What a catch here by the captain, Ben Cutting. Just trying to cut loose Shahid Afridi. Really hitting a big 6 as well, but absolutely brilliant by this man. Never easy, just see coming from the meat of the blade. That's a typical Afridi shot. Couldn't believe it.
There is protection out there, so should just be the single. Successful over for McClenaghan. 17 bowled, 158 for 5. top of the order for Mohammad Shahzad of just 31 deliveries, ably supported by Cameron Delport. They might get 220, 230 when those two were going. Bit of a wobble. Secunda Raza 8 off 9, 19 off 18 deliveries of Freedy. He's just perished, not really getting to grips with the conditions or the bowlers. Ben Cutting into the attack. Who could forget his 5-wicket haul, leading from the front. But I tell you what, the catch he's just taken, absolutely outstanding. He's had to make a lot of ground. It's going over his head. He's up in the air, 2 hands to it, and manages to tidy it up with a few rolls as well. Outstanding stuff.
I think 2 things were special. One, he was very near the ropes there, and secondly, the timing of the jump. Yes, he's a tall man, but really the ball was very well hit, traveling, never easy those catches, drooping over the shoulders. Good delivery. Not giving much room width to the batsman. Samiullah, I think Samiullah will have to take charge now. Not too many deliveries, overs left. 11 runs per over from here, 188. Venkatesh Prasad, really the team did very well in the first game as a unit, bowled well.
Yeah, I think that'll be the minimum they require, that 188, 190. If they can find a few boundaries, maybe a bit more than that. But I think that'll be the minimum they need to get. I tell you what, director might have been interested in that, to scurry home to Samiullah. This will give us a better indication. Picked it up quickly, had a shy at the stumps. Oh, close, but I think he's home. Sliding the bat, he pulled up quickly, really turning around, looking for that second run, not there. Everything a bit frantic at this stage of the innings. Ben Cutting just making sure he's got his field exactly right. So square leg comes into the circle and fine leg goes back. His method of attack somewhat different to McClenaghan. He, with this field, wants to try and bowl as straight as possible at the stumps and probably as full as possible as well. Oh, it's up in the air. That's not where you want to be bowling. Not where you want to be bowling at all. Spikies, a fog maximum. Too much width on offer, and allows Sharafuddin to free his arms and crack it over point.
That's a fog maximum. Won't be very happy with that, Ben Cutting. As you mentioned, probably the aim was to bowl win the stumps, just giving a bit of room there and freeing his arms. Exactly that the point was inside the circle, so was the third man fielder, getting a lot of bat and the swing of the bat. That bat flow was pretty important. But one thing is there about Nangarhar side, that they really have some good death bowlers, experienced death bowlers. Can they make the difference today? We'll wait and see. Timing and running the first one hard. 2 is the call. But I think they'll just settle for 1. Yes, better since prevailing.
9 off the over, 1 ball remaining. They want to try and take full toll. Devchic's been really good in the field today. You always find him in that long off, long on position. Outstanding catch yesterday. He's put one down. It has to go down as a chance. Got the fingertips underneath it. Just not able to hang on. It's at the stumps and kicked out to mid-on. So just the single to finish the over. 2 remaining, 168 for 5. $168 for 5, 2 overs remaining. Samiullah 25 off 18, Sharafuddin 9 off 4. Ben Cutting bowled the last over. McClenaghan 1 for 24 to bowl his last over of the innings. There's that method of attack. Full, wide, directed, would have been close. But at this stage of the innings, you're very happy just conceding singles. What you don't want to do is concede the boundaries. That's a very, very good delivery from Mitchell McClenaghan. Knows exactly what's required of him and executed perfectly. AJ Mera makes way, having to sign alongside. This direct hit would have been close, I reckon. Might have just seen him make his ground, but it was touch and go.
Thank you, Alistair. Final 2 crucial overs for both sides. And there's a 1 runs through to the cover point. Both teams will be looking for the last 9-8 balls. Paktia will be looking at least 30 runs, maybe more than that if I can. And Samula is there for 26 on 19 ball. McClenaghan is just mixing his lineup. Some change deliveries in outside the off-stump Yorker deliveries. That's the time he have to ball here. Samula is on strike. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. No chance for the batsman to hit this ball.
How did you decide when to bowl the Yorker and when to change your pace at the back end of an innings?
To be honest, I always look to the batsman, his feet. If he's covering his wickets, then I'm targeting his toes. If he's away from the stumps, like on leg stump, he's standing now. If you see, he's almost showing his 3 wickets. Then I have to bowl middle or edge of the offside. This is the area that what I'm talking about. Very, very excellent delivery again, and he's complaining. He's complaining for the wide.
Samula with a perplexed look on his face. Can't believe that hasn't been called wide. McClenaghan said, well, you moved across your stumps. That's why it hasn't been called wide. And he still thinks he's been hard done by.
I think he's doing right job. And he's putting the ball in the right area. Yeah, see, he's moving. It's a bit tight one. Oh, not this time. It's a maximum for Shpagiza. 6 runs from Samiullah Shinwari.
Just what was required. Perplexed the ball before. And he's made him pay with this delivery. Mitchell McClenaghan not finding his length, not bowling it full enough. And it allows Samiullah to get underneath it and get it just over Ben Cutting. But that's all that's required. Low down on the bat. Good strike.
Line was correct, direction was correct, but he just missed the area. He have to bowl like previous 2 balls. The way he put it, oh, another wide delivery. You can't bowl here every single ball because batsman, you have to read it. He's gonna read you, and that's why Samiullah Shinwari hit the last ball for 6 runs. And they're looking for another maybe 3 runs, or is it only 1 delivery left? So Samiullah will be looking for a boundary at least.
9 off the over with that wide delivery. Still a ball remaining. How costly will this be? We've seen it so many times in cricket. But that extra ball goes the full distance and really makes the bowler pay. That's an outside edge. It's going to beat third man and should go to the boundary for 4. Solariza to end the penultimate over of the innings. 1 remaining, 181 for 5. One over remaining, 181 for 5. I think 180-190 par on this surface, been a really good surface. They had opportunities to get a few more. This was the last delivery, trying to heave it away on the leg side. A healthy outside edge, but third man up in the circle. And once it got past him, was always going to run away for 4. He can't believe it. Fairly expensive last over.
Ben Cutting. That's an offside drive for 1 run. Hero of yesterday game. He took 5 wickets. And Sharafuddin can hit the ball. He's a very good batsman. And he can deliver his ability here as a batsman, but he have to rotate the strike and give a chance as much as he can to Samula Shinwari. He's the man, he's leading now, and he almost got 36 runs on 23 deliveries.
Yeah, you're not looking for too many singles now. Every ball, your eyes are wide and you're aiming to hit it up and over for a Spagiza or a Soloriza. One of the two will do. Smeared away. Oh, good piece of fielding. I thought he got enough on it. Mujib it is down at square leg. And gets around quickly and makes the save.
Yeah, what a brilliant save from Mujib Rahman. He improved his fielding much better. I remember last time when I see him, his fielding was a bit floppy, especially in IPL and some other franchises teams I saw it. But now he's much improved and he shows his skill in fielding also. Well done Mujib for saving 3 runs at least for your team.
Change in field, fine leg up in the circle, 3 men out on the leg side. Ah, bowled in, what a delivery, the perfect Yorker. Ben Cutting as the last love, gets it spot on in his last over, and over goes the castle.
Beauty from Ben Cutting, reverse Yorker. Couldn't make it to stop at Sharafuddin Ashraf, and he's all the way back to pavilion.
Yeah, he just couldn't negotiate this one. It was right in the block hole. Nothing he could do about that. Onto the base of middle stump. He fell over a wee bit of inward movement. Perfect delivery at the back end of the innings. Ben Cutting knows he's got his man. He knows he's executed perfectly. Sharafuddin goes for 11, 183 for 6. Just 2 singles and a wicket off the first 3 deliveries. Oh, it's straight up in the air. Slower ball. This should also be another one. The keeper underneath it makes the grab. Not for the first time in this tournament. Ben Cutting is on a hat-trick. Terrific disguise, terrific execution. And he's got another wicket. It's just been popped up in the air and the keeper makes no mistake. Congratulations all round. Terrific piece of bowling. This is turning out to be a stunning last over from the captain. He really is having the time of his life here in the Afghanistan Premier League. That's his 7th wicket, would you believe? And we're just in his 2nd game. He probably was expecting the Yorker. It was the slower ball. And all he could do was get it right at the bottom of the bat. It went up a long, long way. He had faith in his keeper. Called early. Took the catch. Bit of a roll to make sure. Excellent effort. Omazai gone for 9, 183 for 7. They did cross, so Samiola on strike. Oh. Again in the block hole. All he can do is jab it out on the leg side, and it'll just be the single. Just the 3 from this last over and 2 wickets. Would you believe it? Excellent stuff from Ben Cutting, leading from the front again.
I see in this last few matches, the captain are only the players, they're leading from the front. If you see Shahzad, Ben Cutting yesterday, he's doing again today. Rashid Khan, captain, are outstanding in this tournament.
Last ball of the innings. Oh, he's got him, another wicket.
Oh.
He's taking them for fun out here, Ben Cutting. 3 wickets in the last over of this innings and just conceding the 3 runs. What an effort that is.
You beauty, Ben Cutting, another 3 wickets for him. It's almost 8 wickets in 2 games for Ben Cutting. What a finish from Nangarhar Panthers, 184 for 8 from Paktia. Samiullah, 38 for 25, not out. Another Yorker, he missed it completely. Very well done, Ben Cutting. That's a good delivery.
Terrific stuff. Really was from Ben Cutting, and they looked like maybe at one stage getting 220, and then that was rehashed to probably looking like getting 200, and because of those last few overs, they ended up getting 184 for 8. Still a good score, make no mistake. They're going to have to do some really good batting of the Nangarhar Leopards, but they will be very happy with the way they've come back and where they've been able to restrict the Paktia Panthers.
Yes, Mr. We were talking about that before. They will score around 200 or 220. But I have to say, well done from Team Paktia. They came very strong, Team Nangarhar, and they restricted in 184 runs. It's not a bad score. They can chase these runs if they do some good partnerships.
It's a good surface. It's a better one than we had yesterday, no doubt about that. We saw the ball coming on nicely. There was no ball really sticking in the wicket. We didn't see much turn apart from Zahir Khan, but you would expect a spinner to get a wee bit of purchase from the surface. But it looked a very, very good batting surface, and those that got in were able to display that. Shahzad in particular was unorthodox, but he played only the way he can play. He got 53 before he was run out, needlessly run out. That was probably the turning point between them getting this 184 and probably 210, 220. But what an innings it was. Delport as well, 35 of 22. Samiullah not out at the end, 38 of 25. But they just fell away at the end. Weren't quite able to get what they were looking for. Right, let's go downstairs because Brian Murgatroyd is with the legend, that is Shahid Afridi.
Shahid, thank you very much indeed for joining us. 184 for 8. What sort of score is that, do you think?
I think it's a good fighting total because the ball will not become a wet like the last game, a very dry condition. So I think we have a very good bowling, spinners especially, and we have some good pacers as well.
Frustration a little bit. You were 99 for 1 after 9 overs and then just lost your way a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I think in 2020, if you lose a wicket back to back, so it's very difficult to come back again. But I think the boys really done well. We need some partnership that we would talk about, partnership in the meetings, and I think a few of the players, they really done well.
Just tell us about conditions out there. The surface doesn't have much grass. Is there a little bit of turn for the spinners on offer?
I think it's turn, but not really a sharp one. It's very slow, and but I think if you bowl wicket to wicket, don't give them a room. So then you can maintain, yeah.
And confident?
Very confident.
Shahid, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Take care.
Always got a smile on his face, always positive, always looks at the upside. Shahid Afridi, he's that sort of character. And he got a few runs today. Didn't look too sound up front, but was able to come back towards the end, and it took a scintillating effort from Ben Cutting in the outfield to put pay to his innings. But that's how it stands for the bowlers for the Nangarhar Leopards. 1 for 37 for McLennan, a bit expensive in his comeback overs at the end. Mujib, 1 for 37 as well. And Naveen, well, he had a day to forget, a day to remember yesterday, but a day to forget today. 3 overs, none for 48. But Cutting and Zahir, they were outstanding. That 80 or 47 deliveries was the standout partnership of this particular innings between Shahzad and Delport, and a few little cameos at the end, 42 and 26 respectively between Samiullah Afridi and then Sharafuddin and Samiullah. As the sun sets here in Sharjah and the wicket gets a bit of attention, that's what Nangarhar Leopards are going to have to do. They're going to have to get 185 off their 20 overs. It's going to be at 9 1/4 to the over, so they're going to have to go some. But the conditions are good here, and if they can get in, they'll back themselves to have a chance. And as Shahid Afridi said, well, if the spinners can get going for the Paktia Panthers, sorry, then they will have a chance as well. It should be an excellent run chase. Don't go too far. We'll be back just after this break.
Well, thanks for joining us for the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fog. First innings of the first match on day 3, having just ended at 184 for 8. At one stage, they were looking like exceeding 200. Of course, pegged back by 3 quick wickets, and then eventually, thanks to Samiola, getting to that 184 mark. Still a formidable total to chase. 9 extras. What a shame that Mohammad Shahzad, of course, went after he did this. Got a nice 50 again. Had good company of Ihsanullah to begin with. Mohammad Shahzad is just such a special bat. That was a leg before appeal. Given, we thought maybe a little tricky there, down leg. And Cameron did rather well too. It was a wonderful 80-run stand or so. That was a particularly special Fog maximum. And while these two were there, things were looking very good indeed. It was 99 before they lost their second wicket. But Mohammad Shahzad was in full flow yet again. Such a delight to watch the experienced Afghani batsman. And captain, of course. Look at that follow through. So Paktia, at this stage, were looking very, very good. Then, unfortunately, the wicket started tumbling at the middle stage. But 184 is what they got thanks to that 50. Done in by the wrong one. Zahir came back very well. Pick of the bowlers, really. And then disaster as the skipper got run out. Sikandar Raza reached a terrific 70 and change in the previous match. An injudicious reverse. He missed it, but the runs carried on. Shahid Afridi came in today, had plenty of time. A little bit of a tragedy at the boundary. But Afridi then got caught by an absolutely brilliant catch by Ben Cutting, the skipper. Lovely leap, roll, managed to stay inside. Eventually they got to 184, but Ben Cutting came back superbly in the final over. And the death, taking 3 wickets, I think it was, in that final over to limit them to 184. So Nangarhar haven't really been challenged with the bat. I think they had to chase only 140 or so in their opening match. This could be a bit of an ask. I've got Ajay Mehra here with me, my good friend Ajay. Just the fact that they didn't have to score too much, we didn't get a sense of their batting prowess in the first match. But this one, do you think could still be a bit of a test?
Yeah, you're right. I think not a bad score. Of course, they would have loved something in the region of 200, but you see the batting lineup. Johnson Charles, he's been good. Taj, Rahman Shah, very capable. Shafiqullah, then Ben Cutting. Not to forget Tharakai as well. He's a very, very sound bat. The bat deep, and that's going to be a big plus. It looks a very well-balanced side. The kind of spinners they have. You mentioned about Zahir, the spell he bowled today, very impressive. Mujib, although a touch expensive today as compared to the first game. But again, they have some good spinners. So it looks to be a very good lineup they have. Not to forget Lamit Chane as well in the squad for them. So might be playing the remaining games. Andre Russell would be joining them as far as Nangarhar are concerned. So they look to be very, very good. And well, it's going to be a challenge for them. The wicket looks to be still pretty decent. No demons on the surface. The ball is coming nicely. But I think the thinking behind Mohammad Shahzad, what he mentioned to me at the time of toss was that they want to get runs on the board. And that was exactly what they did in the first game. But it's going to be a test for the bowlers once again. Tharakai, to see the strike rate around 127.42, 150 for him. Can really improve those figures as far as runs are concerned. And this man, really special, Johnson Charles, can be aggressive. Nearing the 3,000 mark in his T20 career, 1750s. But what they require, Charu, is a decent start. That's going to be important up front.
Yeah, getting 185 to win is that kind of a total where you can't really take it too easy to begin with and conserve wickets for the big onslaught later on. You got to keep pushing because there's 9 runs and over. And I just wonder, because if you keep wickets in hand, of course, things get a lot easier towards the end. The conditions, as you said, pretty good for batting. So much depends on Johnson Charles and Tharakai too. He did very well the previous match. They began well, but they had a low total to chase. Here we go. Isuru.
Nice ready off the mark as well. Good thinking. The fielder had been on, just touch too deep. So always a possibility of a run there. Straight away off the first delivery. Tharakai off the mark. Shinwari standing at the bowler's end. Bismillah Jan Shinwari. Slip in place as well.
Well, Shinfari is a pretty imposing figure. Don't think you want to over-appeal against him. Farooq Khan for the moment at square leg.
Bit of change in field straight away by Mohammad Shahzad. He had a slip in place for the first delivery. And now a new man comes in. He hasn't faced a single delivery, Johnson Charles. And man moves to mid-wicket.
Did that very smartly. They should really have gone for the two. They must. Oh, the two was there. They missed a trick. But I think they have obviously studied Johnson Charles' game. He prefers the leg side. Very, very effective there, and which is why that man of the deep square boundary.
But also I think the key is to pick up early wickets. That's always important. You know, you create those early inroads, you pick up early wickets with the new ball. The spinners come into play. Once you have wickets in hand in this format, or any format for that matter, always helps.
He try a variation there, the slower one, missed it completely in terms of line. Shahid Afridi did something with the bat today, was just trying to hit the ball so hard to begin with, couldn't find his timing. Did hit a fabulous six over square leg, then got caught by a brilliant effort, then cutting the long off boundary. And even with the ball in his previous match, it didn't quite work, Shahid Afridi. We'll be hoping for a better day with the ball later on.
Well, they've changed their bowling unit a bit because they couldn't really defend in the first game. Paktia Panthers, so they changed a few bowlers, shuffled a few bowlers. Udana getting his first game, so that's pretty interesting as well, Charu. And definitely a good outing for him. Will help his confidence in the remaining games.
Well, he needs to prove a bit because he got out first ball. It was a nice delivery by Ben Cutting. Just those final bit of runs also can sometimes give you a bit of a boost when you go into the dugout. Not to be for Udana today. Oh, well bowled! Full, straight. They've got rid of the danger man.
And that's a great delivery as well. Right in the block hole. Didn't have any clue about that one. That's a big wicket coming here for the Panthers. They are delighted. Charles didn't have any clue. Right in the block hole, right in the button, as they say. Bowler's delight, foxing him completely. Didn't expect it, that Len delivery. Much fuller, right in the block hole, jockeying himself. Bat coming in late and striking the off stump, striking timber. Just mentioned about his confidence, and now he'll be more confident with that wicket of Johnson Charles, who's walking back, didn't do much, out for one. It's 4 for 1 now.
Early trouble for Nangarhar. Johnson Charles, the danger man. We say that because he can hit the ball really hard and was in good form. Gone. And now replaced by Anton Devcic. Well, this is going to be a true test for Nangarhar, chasing a much higher total than they did in their first match. 185. Plenty of runs to make. Devcic nice and quiet. Devcic also showed a fair amount of ability in that first match. Didn't have, as I keep saying, a big total to chase. So an entirely different strategy for a low total to chase. Here, of course, they need to continue going at a reasonably good clip rather than leave it to 12, 13, 14 runs and over in the last 5.
It's not a bad score, as already mentioned, because you know, they have to utilize the power play as well. They've got to be keeping with their required run rate. Wanting a run refused by his partner. Yes, no, yes, no. But in the end, all well. And the first over, it's 5 for 1.
You're watching the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fog. We've seen some terrific action. In fact, this match has been a roller coaster. At one stage, it looked like Paktia would get to 200 in a bit, and then they lost 3 wickets after being 99 for 1. And then we thought maybe 160 would be a struggle. And they powered on to 184 and went back into the dugout, surely believing a fair amount in themselves. And then to come back out and take the first wicket in the very first over, the confidence of the Paktia Panthers would be sky high right now. From the other end, Shahzad.
Oh, that's a good start for him around the off stump. Ball just keeping a shade low, but the line was pretty impressive. This young lad was impressive in the first game as well. Yusuf Zazai can garner some good pace. He's got a decent action. And good thing for him that the new ball has been given to him. I remember in the last game probably came in the first change bowler. Good line. That's exactly what he's got to do.
Yeah, kept a little low though. So Anton Devcic saw it all the way through the keeper, keeping low. And losing his line, Yusuf Zazai. But whipping up the pace, so that's good to see. Lots of very hard-working fast bowlers in Afghanistan, and of course, lots of spinners as well. So looks to me, Ajay, that their cricket is in very good hands.
You're right, and that was very obvious, the way they played in the Asia Cup, beating teams like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, tie with India. So really, it's all about improving your bench strength. That's so very important.
Oh, swung away. Very quick bat speed there by Devcic. And will he get a maximum? He does. That's a Fog maximum. In fact, love saying Fog Spagiza. Well played.
That's exactly what he's known for. Was in the slot. He's going after that one. Beautifully done by him. Very strong in that region. Got a bottom hand. But that's a good pickup shot. Exactly what he was doing. The connection was pretty decent. Not much protection there, especially in the power play.
Yeah, Devcic just wants to ensure that he has seen the field. Quick apology to Yusuf Zazai. There we are. So now for Devcic, we have a deep mid-wicket as well. Only 2 men allowed and a deep square leg. So both the men on the leg side, which leaves plenty of scope, as it were, on the offside for boundaries if you can pierce the infield. But that's not quite Anton Devcic, his area.
And that's his forte. As you rightly mentioned, on the onside, the ringer fielders on the off for him. He's so strong in that region, really converts anything at times. Picks up the length from outside the line of Ostam onto the onside, drags it. Marakai Julian has got to give him company. Good in the first game. A decent start, but out here, they've lost an early wicket.
So, Ajay, what defines Afghanistan cricket for you? I'm going to come up with my own answer, but obviously there are too many things to talk about. A few important verticals in cricket. Which one impresses you most about Afghanistan?
I think their spin bowling, that has been absolutely brilliant. Earlier they had someone like Mohammad Nabi and Rashid Khan, Mujib, a terrific youngster who's really helped. And the big thing with Mujib is the accuracy, you know, bowling with a new ball. That's never easy, Charu. The control he's shown. And when you have 3 quality spinners in your rack, the variety, that makes a big difference.
Oh, isn't that brilliant? Anton Devcic yesterday, cool at the boundary line. Knew he was going to step over, threw the ball up and came back. But of course, he has to prove it all with the bat today. I'll tell you about what I like about Afghanistan cricket in a moment. Yeah, once you find the gap, it's all over. So, Tarakai now. Among the runs, that's Fog Salureza.
That's brilliant. The young man is going to be a lesson for him. Over pitching at times, down the leg side. Expensive first over. Tarakai finding it easy this time. Much fuller for him, taking on the full. Juicy full toss, just had to put it away.
Well, it's a tough life as a fast bowler, especially a young one. He's lost his length for sure. And so we can find it with just a ball or so to go. So I'll have to wait till the next over to tell you about my Afghan special. 17 for 1 after 2. The Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by FOG, going around the world. And we hope you're enjoying the action. We are certainly having a great time here in Sharjah. Sharjah cricket ground all decked up for this first ever APL. Udana begins his second over from the pavilion end. Yeah, well, he does have variety, but you also need... Has he gotten away with it? No wide.
He was just having a word with the umpire as well, and that was pretty close. And so was the batsman just having a look at the umpire. Yes, you're right, just getting away. Still waiting for your answer, Charu. You did mention what
hey, that's wider than wide. Udana very, very lucky. Ooh, big appeal could be given, tailing in. And yes, a slow reaction. But umpire Shanwari happy to give that leg before. Anton Depset just prints on, wanted the single, keeps going. He'll be reaching the dugout in record time. A shame though. I'd love to have seen his skills with the bat. Not to be today.
I tell you what, he's been very impressive. Excellent delivery coming in to the left-hander, plumb in front, very adjacent. And just taking his time there, the umpire. But finally, the finger was up. If Sage has to go back, couldn't do much today, out for 8. It's 17 for 2 now.
Ajay, I know you have high praise for Rahmat Shah Zurmati. Talking about that 100, you obviously saw it. So, a class act.
Yeah, very organized at the crease. I think he's got a very good technique, good temperament, very composed at the crease, and knows how to go about. Takes his time initially in the longer format, but he's got all the shots in his armory. That's so very important to see the strike rate, despite being very organized. 150 for him. Just a 10th game. He loves playing the longer format. Rahmat Shah.
Yeah, well, his team is in trouble, that's for sure. We sure saw a shot of the dugout, and here too, the coach Venki Prasad on left, along with skipper. Well, they know they're in trouble. 2 early wickets chasing 185, never easy. Oh, wow, what carry! Keeper Mohammad Shahzad was attempting to appeal. That smile, a little bit of trickery there, hoping to get away with it.
Well, I tell you what, Charu, with the Udana coming in, the way he's bowling, you know, the pace he's wearing, the slow deliveries, the fast deliveries, the way he got the wicket of Johnson Charles, I think this is this attack is looking very different. Excitement there from the captain as well. He thought he had another wicket here. Very close, perilously close to the outside edge.
2 out of 2, whipping up plenty of pace, finding a good angle across Rahmat, and we've got to say Rahmat Khan just very composed, use the right word.
But Charu, we're all waiting for your answer now. Now, coming back to that,
okay,
what do you like the aspect as far as Afghanistan cricket is concerned?
Well,
I mentioned
I like
spin
yours.
bowling.
I like yours. They've got some wonderful spinners without question, but you know, many other parts of the world too. I just like their fearlessness with the bat. I mean, none of them seem to be afraid of losing their wicket. They go hard all the time. I know that's a short form game skill, but they do that very well. No, taken. No, Shahid Afridi, unfortunately, not the quickest. Couldn't get back in time.
Yeah, just watching the ball go over his shoulders, droop over his shoulders, smiling there. That's good to see. Didn't time it too well.
He may be wanting to indicate that he thought it was going to go way over his head, but it wasn't timed well. And by the time he realized that and started backpedaling, it was too late. Bottom of the bat.
Meanwhile, for Rahmat Shah, his heart would have been in his mouth there because didn't time it too well. Saw that fantastic catch today from Ben Cutting on the fence. Oh, that's played well. Glorious shot. That's going to be a fork 4 to end the over. 22 for 2. So not a great start. They've lost 2 early wickets, 3 overs gone. Shahzad was expensive in his opening over, change in bowling as well. Sharafuddin, a decent job with the bat, coming on to bowl, decent all-rounder. 163 required of 102 deliveries. Got to bat sensibly from here on. Remember, they won the first game, the Leopards, but this one should be a tight game. The way it's moving on so far. Sharafuddin Ashraf, 9 wickets for him in his T20 career.
Well, a difficult time continues for Nangarhar, having lost 2 wickets and 2 very important wickets. Both Devsich and Johnson Charles can really motor along. And to lose them so quickly when chasing 185, that's going to peg you back a bit psychologically. And the batsmen at the crease suddenly start wondering how hard should they go. One, of course, has just come in, Rahmat Khan, but as you say, you have a lot of faith in his abilities.
You know, for me also the interesting fact, Charu, would be whether Udana continues from the other end, because he's bowled a couple of overs, he's done really well. Will Shahid Afridi come in to bowl early in the power play? Was expensive in the first game, was a bit rusty as well. Should he be brought on from the other end?
Well, you make a good point. Done by the flight there. Rahmat danced down and suddenly realized he was not going to get to the pitch of the ball, but he's a class act, as you say. He adjusted and ensured that he didn't go through with the shot. Checked it. Yeah, just back to how to now manage this innings. Very important for the 2 batsmen in there. There's still power play, so they can go a little hard, but you don't want to throw another wicket at this stage chasing 185, that's for sure. So more caution really for me, but I've just said that the Afghani batsmen, that's not quite on their minds, because aggression is their key.
It's going to be a test, really a test for this side now. Rahman Shah, a lot will depend on him. Oh, missing it completely. Slight appeal as well there from Mohammad Shahzad, but I think he was well in. At times the body language tells a story. He's trying to manufacture some shots here, Rahman Shah. Tarakai just having a word with him.
A well bowled by Sharafuddin, followed Rahmat. There we are, cleared away, but his back foot never really left, and I don't think he got the wicket at all. Oh, lucky, lucky, lucky. Rahmat, inside edge. He should get a fog 4. No, very well fielded. Good run there by Zia.
Yeah, good effort. That's the end of the over as well. So 4 overs gone, 26 for 2. So 4 overs gone, 26 for 2. Runs aren't coming at that pace. Tarakai taking a bit of time. Rahman Shah is new to the crease. Last ball, previous over. Good effort there. Saving a couple of runs. The ball wasn't traveling. Zia, the fielder, really going for some big shots on the offside. Rahman Shah did struggle in the last over against the left-arm spinner.
Yusuf Zaza been given another spell, this time from the opposite end, the pavilion end, that is. Changing his ends. Good time for him to show that he can come back well. It does whip up the pace. Non-striker sent back by Tarakai.
What I liked, Charu, was Shahid Afridi just before the over. He went up to Zazai. Yusuf Zazai just had a word with him. As rightly mentioned, change of ends for him. From the other end, he was a touch expensive in his opening over. So as an experienced campaigner, as one who's got so much of experience behind him, Shahid Afridi just had a chat with the young man, just telling him what to do.
Well, one of the many things you might have told him is to just get the right length. That's what he erred earlier on. The man at mid-wicket, so just a single, very well played by Tarakai.
And also that Shahid Afridi is standing at mid-off, so he can have a regular chat with Zazai. Just guide him, just tell him, because Mohammad Shahzad is keeping, so it's tough for him. Just telling him exactly the lines, the length he's got to bowl. He's got to marshal his troops as well. Mohammad Shahzad, always very busy, always doing something or the other, whether he's batting, keeping, always proactive.
Just a quick change in the field affected by the skipper. The third man going back and long on coming in. That might just go past the infield and just a little too far. And this, well, they steal too. That's fantastic running. That's what we want at this stage. Don't want to lose any wickets. Got to capitalize on the runs.
Somehow I have a feeling that Rahmat Shah, since the time he's come in, he's trying to hit the ball too hard. And that's the reason he's not getting his timing right. He's a good quality batsman, mentioned that. He can take his time, just settle in. Because he's trying to go for those big shots, expansive shots early on. Probably trying to use the power play, the first 6 overs. The field restrictions that are in place at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Big swing and a miss by Rahmat. Well, this is going to be quite a battle because 185 with 2 wickets gone and the 2 that can really power it on has really pegged back Nangarhar. We don't know what drama lies in store with Rahmat particularly. You mentioned that he's a very, very good bat. Thank you, Prasad looks properly concerned. Of course, on the other end, Taraka is doing very well. He did well in the previous match too, but didn't have much to chase. So we'll see whether Paktia Panthers can now get on the scoreboard in terms of the points.
Well, once again, not getting the timing right as you would like. Wanting the second as well. Bit of hesitancy in running between the two. Just settling for one. I think he's going too hard against the bowling.
Well, there's plenty of chat between the two. In fact, Rahmat wanted... Oh no, Tarakai was wanted too, but Rahmat Khan not interested. I think the 2 was on. Last ball of the first 5 overs. Decent comeback by Yusuf Zazai.
He's probably missing his run-up on that occasion. But still, Charu, as far as the surface is concerned, looks to be a very good one for batting. There are really no demons. The ball is coming nicely. We've seen under lights. The ball does come much better at times. Exactly what we saw in the first game as well.
Yeah, T20 is all about clever bowling. Udana showed how clever he was today. And it's up to Yusuf Zaza now to finish his over here with the dot ball, hopefully. Oh, he could even get a wicket. No. Did that take an edge? I'm not too sure. However, 5 overs gone, 30 for 2.
Three bowlers used so far, and Udana, what an impact he's had into the side today in place of Callum McLeod, and 2 big wickets. Sharafuddin about to start his second over from the Sharjah club end, and he strikes. Rahmat Shah, his tortured innings is over. Again, going for the big shot. And this time he misses, and the bowler hits. A 3rd wicket then for Paktia. Alistair Campbell alongside me, and a little bit of trouble for Nangarhar now.
Yeah, they're behind the black ball big time. Rahmat Shah trying to heave one over the leg side, not making contact, misses it and cannons into the stumps. Wasn't looking at all settled out there, splays that front leg. And Mohammad Shahzad, he's stoked. Sharafuddin strikes, and they get more out of it. Rahmat Shah gone for 7, 30 for 3 now.
Shahzad had a match-winning innings in the last encounter. 26 not out from 26 balls with a couple of 4s and a 6. But he's in a really tricky situation for Nangarhar now. What a way to get off the mark. Spagiza, fog maximum.
He's hit that hard. Really good shot. Was on it in a flash. It was short. It sat up. It was there to be put away. Make no mistake. Well, he's new to the crease and he was after it. And, well, came right out the middle of the bat. Flat low. Really good shot. Way in front of square. That's exactly what they need. They need someone to add a bit of impetus to this innings. They need some momentum. They need a few big hits.
Of course, we're still in the power play, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. It's at long on and deep backward square leg. There are 5 fielders in the ring trying to save 1 on the offside. Even with the 3 wickets down, it shouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for Nangarhar to chase these runs down. It's a decent surface, but they're under pressure now, make no mistake about that.
Shahzad just making sure the field exactly right. Yeah, you're right. I think that you're always in the game. 20-over cricket, you just need one guy to get in, find a few boundaries, and suddenly the tide turns. But they've got to try and form a partnership. Nothing off the last delivery. 6 ball, power play over, 37 for 3.
Paktia Panthers 18 runs ahead of where Nangarhar Leopards are at the moment at the corresponding stage of their innings. Panthers, of course, made a flying start thanks primarily to Mohammad Shahzad. Here's Shahid Afridi. Certainly looked a little bit stiff in the field so far, Afridi. Let's see how he goes at the bowling crease.
Took a bit of a pasting in the last game as well with ball in hand, Shahid Afridi. That's just monumental. 277th game, an economy rate of under 7.
Yes, 4 overs for 55 in that last match where Paktia weren't able to defend 218. Although in all fairness, the ball did become very greasy. Bowled! Afridi strikes. Little wink at Shahzad. He's a happy man. And straight away, Shahid Afridi makes his presence at the bowling crease count.
And the Nangarhar Leopards fall further into the abyss. It's been a horror start for them, and it's just getting worse. Shahid Afridi into the attack and just gets one to hold up a wee bit. He was through the stroke before it arrived, just stuck in the pitch a little bit, head up in the air and cannons into that off stump. Mohammad Shahzad, he's delighted, and Shahid Afridi, I told you so. Don't worry about me, just needed a bit of warm-up in the first game, but I'm back. Tarakai gone for 12, 38 for 4.
Fans who've made their way into the Sharjah Cricket Stadium for day 3 of the Gul Baha Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fog. Absolutely delighted to see Shahid Afridi striking straight away. A bit of delay while the new batsman makes his way out. You can see there in the middle of screen Nawraz Mangal, the former Afghanistan captain, next to the Afghanistan Cricket Chief Executive Officer. Shafiqullah, who kept wicket for Nangarhar earlier in the day, now coming in at number 6.
He was a bit late coming onto the field, wasn't he? Probably just finishing up his dinner. Didn't expect 4 down to be so early on. That one just held up a little bit. Was short enough, but he was through the shot far too early. Head up in the air, execution not great. They're well on top now. Paktia and, well, smiles all around. Why not? When you're in this sort of position, opposition chasing plenty, you're bound to see a few smiles, but they've got to try and keep the foot on the gas. They've got to make sure that they don't allow a partnership to form, because things can change very quickly in this form of the game. Oh, straight away he's had a go and whipped it away for a Fog 4. Really good stuff from Shafiqullah. He's not going to hang about. He's come out with a bit of intent. Short, and he was on it in a flash.
Well, this is the partnership that got Nangarhar across the line in their last match. It was against Kandahar. No messing there. Just a little bit of Gordon Greenwich with the leg in the air. Yes, this pair came together in a very dodgy situation against Kandahar when their side were 78 for 4, chasing 140. They ended up adding 64 to steer their side to victory. Good first over from Afridi, 6 runs from it and the wicket. It's 43 for 4. So how do they go about this, Alistair? Before you answer me, just remember that on myteam11.com you can create your own fantasy team, test your skills and win big with real cash. Can Nangarhar win big? It'll be a big effort for them to do so from this position.
Now the problem is they're a long way behind the game, so there's no room for consolidation. There's no room to for us to add the age-old cliches of you know, let's knock it around, take some singles. The run rate is such as that they have to continue to be attacking. They need to make sure that they're finding the boundary consistently. Shafiqullah showed intent when he's come in. Shahidi 8 off 7. Got to make sure that they're finding the boundary at least once to the over. And if they don't do that, the more overs that go for 5 and 6, it just escalates. And on the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll see that, all your viewers at home, 11.35, what's required from here on in. So don't worry about one boundary to the over, probably 2 boundaries to the over required. Have a look at that. Dot ball goes from 11.35 to 11.51. That's how quickly it gets away from you if you're not scoring.
Good over from a Paktia perspective. Nangarhar struggling at the moment, 46 for 4. Let's go down to Hamid Hassan now. He's pitch side, and let's see who he's got with him.
Thank you. There you are with Rais Ahmadzai and Ibrahim Zadran, the legendary Rais. He ex-captain for Afghanistan, ex-chief selector, and right now he's an assistant coach for Nangarhar Panthers. And Ibrahim Zadran is an upcoming future star. He played a lot for under-19. I have a first question from Ibrahim. Ibrahim, څه فکر کوي دغه APL چې شروع شوی دی دینه مخکې ته ټورنمنټونو کې لوبې کړې دي سپیشلی انډر 19 د هغې ځای او د دې ځای فرق څونه دی ایمرجن کې دې هم لوبه وکړله دېرش کلان سره پاتې شوې څه فرق دلته ګورې دلته د سینیرز نه د کوچ نه دې څه زده کړل او داسې یو خاص که داسې یو ښه جالبه خاطره دې په دې ایونټ کې اوسه پورې موږ ته ووایه
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم زه به دا ووایم چې انډر 19 سره وکین چې ما لوبې کړې هغه انډر 19 کې ما میچ کړی دی نو د انډر 19 لیول او د دغه لیول ډېر فرق دی ځکه دلته ډېر سینیر پلیران دي نو هغه ډېر غټ غټ لیګونه یې کړي دي هغې سره لګیا یو کوم ایکسپیرینس چې دوی لري هغه موږ سره شریکوي هغې نه ډېر څه زده کوو
مننه رئیس تا نه هم یو پوښتنه لرم انډر 19 ټیم سره د کوچینګ کړی دی چیف سلیکټر پاتې شوی د افغانستان کپټن پاتې شوی خو دغه فارمیټ چې دی ډېر مختلفه دی نسبتا شپږیزه چې موږ په کابل کې شوې ده څه فرق ګورې د لوبغاړو په منځ کې دلته د خپل جونیئر خاص کار
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم لکه څنګه چې تاسې وینئ د موږ جونیئر چې څومره هم دي هغه ماشاءالله چې څنګه کرکټ دوی کوي او دغسې لیګونه د دوی لپاره یو ډېر ښه ده چې دوی ځان مارکیټ سره وباسي یعنې خلکو ته ځان وښیي موږ او تاسو ته ټول ته د دې معلومات ده چې دغه موږ لوبغاړو کې څومره استعدادونه دي همدغسې لیګونو نن سبا د موږ ته وګورئ که راشد ارمان وګورئ محمد نبي او دغسې ظاهر خان مجیب او داسې نور لوبغاړي نو انشاءالله پوره پر امید یم چې څنګه چې د موږ ځوانان لوبغاړي چې څنګه لوبه کوي دوی چې څنګه کرکټ کوي هغه د کرکټ ټول شاټونه ورسره دي په بالینګ په بیټینګ په فیلډینګ په هر څه کې نو انشاءالله د دغه APL نه به وروسته د موږ لوبغاړي به نور به هم د دنیا په مختلفو لیګونو کې به د دغه لیګ نه به انشاءالله لار پیدا کوي
امید لرئ چې انشاءالله نیکسټ ایئر ته افغانستان پریمیر لیګ بیا به همداسې په خیر وشي
انشاءالله دا زه به دا وایم چې د هر کار شروع لږ سخت او لږ مشکل او موږ خو ډېر په لیګونه هم لیدلي دي د موږ اول ایکسپیرینس ده د موږ اوله تجربه ده د کرکټ بورډ لپاره او د ټول هغه کسان تخنیکي کسان لپاره دلته چې دي خو زه یو به شی به دا وایم چې انشاءالله چې کوم شی نه چې پکې کمی ده هغه به په کال ته به پکې دې نه به انشاءالله پوره کوي به کرکټ بورډ نو پوره پر امید یم چې انشاءالله تر دې به ښي بل کال ته به تر دې ښه او داسې یو ورځ به راسي چې یو ډېر ښه سټنډر باندې به د موږ APL وي
Thank you so much, and we have to go to upstairs for a commentary box.
Shafiqullah departs, trapped on the back foot. Perhaps he could have been forward to work the ball away on the onside.
Yeah, he should have been forward to this. He's gone right back, trying to work it around the leg side. Skids on, probably would have taken a lot of leg stamp. The umpire concurs. And, well, it just goes from bad to worse. Shafiqullah gone for 10, 51 for 5 now, Nangarhar.
Nangarhar captain Ben Cutting to the crease. And boy, has he got a lot to do. He's been outstanding with the ball in this tournament so far, but he's going to have to do something really special with the bat to lift his side out of an enormous hole that they've dug for themselves. Zia-ur-Rahman picking up his first wicket. And that's an optimistic shout for LBW. The batsman down the wicket, probably hit outside the line as well. The ball was probably turning past off stump.
They just haven't got going in this innings. Inspired selection choice. Callum McLeod being left out. Udan being brought into the side, the Sri Lankan left armour, and well, he's made a huge difference. Knocking over early wickets is always the key to putting the side on the back foot. And they just have never recovered.
Terrific stuff from Paktia after that disappointment of their defeat on Friday night. We were wondering whether the total they'd posted today was going to be enough, but it looks as though it will be. Have to be something remarkable from Nangarhar from this point to turn things around.
Chipped away on the leg side. So he's off the mark, Ben Cutting, and we're halfway through the innings. 52 for 5.
It's a great side. Everybody who's come here really enjoying the game of cricket. Remember, this is the first game this evening. Of course, it's a double header. 2 games going to be Shahzad Afridi once again. But the Leopards really struggling. They've lost half the side. Not going to be easy from here on. A lot will depend on Shahidi. It's a good striker. Ben Cutting has got to do the job with the bat as well today. Really 132 to win of 59. Especially the bowling that Panthers have shown has been absolutely disciplined. No ball, so he's going to be afraid. Oh, wanting a single. Remember, for no ball, there can be a run out. And with me is Charu Sharma.
Thanks, Ajay. Yeah, a sigh of possibly relief there. Although Shahidi will get the benefit of that free hit. But Shahzad Afridi is still questioning the umpire, saying, what's going on here? How come? We'll quickly check his overstepping. But it is a free hit. And so a little bit of action now. And hope for Nangarhar, who have had a miserable run. 5 wickets down for just 54. Half the overs up. And well, just the pressure on Shahidi to hit this for a big one. Well, he threw everything at it.
Well, that's the experience of Shahzad Afridi. That's the experience. That was the googly. Wanted to hit against the turn. Shahidi in no position at all. A lot of protection on the onside as well. Deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. Really mixing well. Slight appeal from Shahzad. But he's maintaining the pressure now on the batsman.
Yeah, Shahzad Afridi, of course, well known for going through his overs at record pace and also is darting it in, bowling pretty quickly. Shahidi always knew there was a run. When Cutting, not quite so sure, was ball watching. Till Shahidi said, move, skipper.
It's been a very different display from the Panthers today. Paktia Panthers, the way they are bowled, very impressive in the first 6 overs. Oh, once again coming down the track. Going to be a daunting task here for the Leopards. Not going to be easy for them.
They can afford to smile. Paktia Panthers should take this according to all indication, but like I said, who knows what drama lies in store. Again, the wrong one. I think the flipper at the very least. So just singles, and that's not going to do it, not for the moment. 11 gone, 57 for 5.
So Shahidi and cutting out there. Shahidi known for his abilities to hit it big. He's a clean striker, but the required run rate increasing all the time. 57 for 5. That's a big problem. Those 5 wickets. Ashraf, impressive. Good economy. Got a wicket as well. That's played well in the gap. Should be a couple of runs here.
Yeah, Ashraf Souls bowled well. Took a key wicket earlier on. So it's all looking good for the Paktia Panthers today. The bowlers a little guilty of allowing 218 to be chased in their opening match, but what a cracker that was to set the APL on fire. 2 straight. Normally you'd find fielders attacking the ball, but I think the Paktia Panthers, the young Afghans, were a little aghast because Shahid Afridi hadn't moved at all. He said, let the ball come to me, I'm the boss. Big appeal again. I think that might have landed outside leg stump, bowling left arm over.
Yeah, would have missed the leg stump, certainly. And that was darted through flatter trajectory as well. So the good thing is they're mixing up the pace. But the big revelation, Charu, for me has been the way they are bowled, because they changed the bowling unit. Udana being brought back. The spinners have done a fantastic job for them. Afridi looking very different as a bowler. Expensive in the first game. Was a bit rusty, but today he's really done well. It's been a very good bowling performance so far. But still, the game is not over by any means.
Well, left arm round, I beg your pardon. Has been a strange batting performance. I can understand at the top you had to go hard. Johnson Charles and Devsich both losing their wickets, because at 185 for the chase, you can't afford to dawdle in the first 6 overs. But thereafter, there have been a couple of strange shots, and they just really have not been able to move it forward.
You're right about that fact, because I was really disappointed the way Rahman Shah also got out. Mentioned he's a good batsman, very calm, good technique he's got. But really the way he got out, they lost early wickets. Both the big wickets were lost early, especially Johnson Charles, the way he was foxed by Udana. So after that, really never recovered as far as this innings is concerned.
We were just talking about the effect Udana had on this match. He was just brilliant to begin with. So this is what they need. Nice fog boundary. So much more still to come though, or needs to come. 12 gone, 67 for 5.
Going to be Afridi for his last over. Oh, that one keeping a shade low, but I think Ben Cutting wasn't ready. That's exactly what he's indicating to the bowler and the umpire as well. But Afridi is saying it's a dot delivery. I wouldn't mind it.
Well, he went through with it. The player played it. I don't think you can call that a dead ball anymore. He reacted to somebody crossing the screen, or the screen not having corrected itself after the ball. So I have to count that as a legitimate delivery. Oh, again. Minor malfunction. I'm sure they'll get it right soon enough. Sometimes maybe these things turn a little more than you want them to.
Yeah, wide screen, wide ball. Never easy for the batsman, Charu.
But all sorts of pressure on Nangarhar. Their skipper's in there. He's done it with the ball. Some terrific bowling at the death. Now he'll have to bat through. Shahidi very keen. It was his call.
He's been very impressive, Shahid Afridi. Mentioned about that last over for him before this one. 3 overs, 16 runs, got that wicket. Venkatesh Prasad would be disappointed with the batting efforts of his side so far.
Yeah, down on his knee. He's a big, tall man, so takes a bit of effort. Couldn't quite pierce the gap.
But this is a stage where really the singles and doubles won't help. Now they have to get the odd boundary almost every over because the required run rate is creeping up. They need those big shots coming their way under the belt. And that's exactly what he's tried. Gone up and over. And that's a fog maximum. What a strike.
Did I say I like their fearlessness? Well played. Danced down the track. And Afridi looped it just a bit. Normally fires it in and paid the penalty. But right to the pitch of the ball did Shahidi. Let's get that right. And it was a handsome six. A fog maximum over extra cover. Special shot inside out.
Yeah, never easy against Afridi because the pace he bowls with. But that was a very good shot. Controlled shot. A lot of authority. Powering it on the offside. Much better. He's a good striker, Shahidi. That's the ability he's got. But with that required run rate over 15, they need some big shots coming their way. Almost every over from here on.
Still a good spell by Shahid Afridi. 1 for 24 from his 4. 75 for 5 after 13.
It's a double header, and the next game coming up is Bulk Legends versus Kandahar Knights. Going to be Asghar Afghan versus Mohammad Nabi. That big game coming up this evening. Meanwhile, definitely this pair fighting it out. Ben Cutting, the captain out there, guiding Shahidi all the time.
I wonder how Kandahar are going to do because they didn't have a very good match the first time round against Nangarhar, this team. And if they went down to Nangarhar, who are now going down to Paktia, I mean, A plus B or whatever, A is equal to B, B is equal to C. Not necessarily that A is equal to C, but they might have it tough against Bulk, who won rather comfortably their first match. Cutting throws everything at it and might just get a boundary. No, very well fielded with lost side of the ball, but very well done. Udana, is it?
Yeah, it's his day today. I think he's been tremendous with the ball. Very good effort there. Some distance to run, cover. He's very athletic on the field. Does really well. Sliding. That's the effort. That's a commitment that's needed. Near the ropes, never easy.
No. Ben Cutting just standing there and thrashing away.
You know, one player, Charu, that will be coming into the ranks, Nangarhar, is Andre Russell. And he might make a big difference. The kind of cricketer he is. Might be also captaining this side, never know. The experience he possesses, especially in the T20 format. Very good bowler, capable batsman, brilliant fielder.
For a change, he lost his length. It was short, pulled away very handsomely. We've been talking about how Shahidi is in good form. In fact, reliably informed or reminded by Hamid Hassan to my left that he was the highest scorer for Afghanistan in the Asia Cup, so he can certainly bat. And today they will need that ability.
Absolutely, and that's a very good shot. What I liked is using the depth of the crease, going right back and across. Never easy. Knew exactly the fielders were, bisecting that gap. Big gap on the onside. Very nicely done by him.
Oh. Well, there you go. When you don't pull that reverse sweep, a lot of fans do say, why did you have to do that? But it was certainly better length by the bowler. Previous ball that went for 4 was a gimme, really, a long hop.
Sensible will pick up one more run. 14 overs gone, 84 for 5. One thing, Charu, that Mohammad Shahzad would be very happy is those economies. Absolutely brilliant. Zazai was expensive in his opening over, came back strongly in the second over. Rahman has done a wonderful job, so has Afridi. So it's been absolutely a very good bowling performance. Ashraf, 1 wicket for him in his 3 overs, last over for the left-arm spinner.
Very well struck, but what a shame that sometimes for a really good shot you get only a single. But yeah, very impressive with Udana. Well, that's easy to say though, because he gave nothing and took those 2 wickets right at the top, and that really mattered. He just took the legs off from under the chase of Nangarhar. But even Zia has bowled very well.
Looks a very different bowling performance as compared to the first game they played. And that's important, you know, how quickly you learn what kind of combination you get. Because in T20, I always feel combination is very important. You might have some big foreign players, how they are used, which batting order they come, or what kind of bowling abilities they have, when they are used, how they are rotated in the bowling lineup. So very important.
Well, again, trying to manufacture something, but gets only a single. Lot of risk for that 1 run. Well, Ben Cutting's now 9 from 15, and I wonder when he's going to make the big charge, because he's not quite finding his timing yet. Keeps looking at the bottom of his bat. Maybe he needs to change it. But really, with only 5 overs and a bit left, he's got to start accelerating right here, right now. And he does, straight behind the bowler. Got plenty of bat that time. Shahzad Afridi had long on. Didn't quite put in the sprint. That's a very welcome fog, Salu Reza.
Yeah, straight down the ground, straight as an arrow. That's exactly what you're mentioning, that he's got to cut loose, and that's exactly what he does. This is the time, and that will release the pressure from Shahidi as well, his partner. Very nicely done by him. Rocketed to the fence. Taken a bit of time, Ben Cutting early on. But now he realizes they got to move on. Too much time left, 5 overs left from here on after this over. Played in the air, and that's really well timed. It's a fog maximum to end the 15th over, 97 for 5.
.88 from 5 overs. Enormous ask, but, well, there's some determination on the part of Nangarhar not to go down without a fight. Shahidi, lovely pickup shot of his toes. Hamid Hassan alongside me. Hamid, is there life in this game yet?
Yeah, you never know. 30 balls, 80 plus runs. And Hashmatullah Shahidi is on charge now. Ben Cutting got 19 of 18 deliveries. Shahidi 41 of 29. He's not gonna stop. Another beautiful boundary, maximum Saluriza from Hashmatullah Shahidi.
The first of those boundaries bringing up the 50 partnership. Shahidi, nice little double for him after his performance yesterday. Really showing his quality and showing his ability on both sides of the wicket. So the 100's up now with those successive boundaries.
Another down the wicket from Shahidi just for 1 run.
What a turnaround this has been from Paktia, though, after the disappointment of their defeat on Friday and the fact that they struggled at various stages during their innings. They've come out and bowled really well. Ben Cutting, though, how about that? Goodness me, what a blow. Spagiza.
Stand and deliver from Ben Cutting, almost like a baseball shot. out of the ground for 6 runs. That's a huge 6 from Ben Cutting.
All of a sudden, a few questions. Paktia side out on the ground. Do you know, I'm not entirely sure he even got that one in the middle of the bat. It was a lovely, clean swing of the bat, wasn't it?
He's very strong. If he hit middle of the bat or bottom of the bat, he can clear the boundary easy. Have you seen his last 6 runs? Over the extra cover was amazing. Only Ben Cutting can hit that kind of balls.
That's why he's so highly regarded in 2020 cricket around the world, why he's a sought after commodity.
I think the big impact of bowling side, it's first 2-3 wickets early in 6 overs. Odana done really well. He got 2 wickets of Charles and then another wicket. That's why they fall off wickets, and they couldn't manage the momentum till the end. But right now, Hashmatullah Shahidi and Ben Cutting doing so well. 16 overs gone, 113 for 5.
Well, 16 off that last over. Nangarhar need 18 runs and over from here on in.
One of experienced bowler, Odana is back, and it's very difficult to get 18 runs from him, but it's cricket, you never know. Ben Cutting is here. If he goes, maybe there's a chance of winning the game for Nangarhar.
Terrific stuff from Udana, picking up those 2 early wickets. Johnson Charles and Anton Devcic, and really and truly you'd have to say Nangarhar haven't really recovered from that early loss of those two wickets. Fielders running hither and thither. Ben Cutting just inducing a few flutters in the hearts of the Paktia players and fans. So now we've got a third man, a deep cover, a long off, a long on, and a deep mid-wicket. There the fielders out patrolling the broad acres. Goodness me, that's incredible. I think he's hit that one into the ground, and somehow it's still gone down the ground for fog maximum 4. That's remarkable. Amazing power from Cutting.
Yes, he is. He's a powerful hitter. Even he couldn't middle the ball, but he finds the boundary right top of the bat and all over the fence for 4 runs.
Yeah, I did him a disservice there. He did actually hit it on the full, but he got it really low on the bat, and yet despite that, it almost carried all the way for 6. Remarkable.
Sher Agha Hamkar, Afghanistan team manager, and very busy person right now. Tournament director as well.
Yes, he was the left-hand gentleman of the trio you saw there. Very familiar figure around Afghanistan cricket.
Very famous face in Afghanistan, and he do a lot of commentary back home for Shpagiza, and right now he's a current team manager for the national team.
So a single for Cutting has brought Shahidi back on strike. Pressure really on these batsmen to go big virtually every ball. Field changing over for the left-hander. And the men patrolling the boundary now at deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off and deep cover. So both fine leg and third man are inside the circle. So you would imagine that Rodana is probably looking to take the pace off the ball here. He's just moving third man a little bit finer.
That's excellent delivery, no runs. Every single dot ball is costing. Hashmatullah Shahidi have to look some gaps. There's a few gaps there. If he find the gaps, maybe he can get a boundary. Right now pressure is building on Nangarhar team. 21 deliveries, 67 runs left. Only 5 wickets remaining.
Rodana, who debuted for Sri Lanka in this form of the game at national level, international level I should say, in the ICC World 2020 in 2009. It's a well-placed field, just a single, and singles don't cut it at the moment for Nangarhar.
Rodana is doing so well. He knows where the fielder are and he is just bowling according to the plan in field. And then he have to do it, because otherwise if he bowl a miss one or wrong one, maybe he will get a boundary. And now he's again changing the field. Third man is up, fine leg is up.
Who's Cutting going to find a boundary here, I wonder?
If he middle the ball, there's no need to find a boundary. It will be out of the stadium.
He's moved across his stumps and whipped it away over square legs. Bagiza.
That's what I said. He don't need to find a boundary. If he middle it, it will be a 6 runs. Wonderful shot from Ben Cutting. Fog maximum Shpagiza.
It was a clever bit of batting actually. Just moving across his stumps, as Hamid Hassan said, and look at the wrist work there to manipulate the ball away on the onside. That cleared the boundary by quite some distance.
Very strong in the wrists. He clapped it toward the mid-wicket in fine leg region for 6 runs.
This partnership now worth 74 from 47 balls. And powered down the ground by Cutting. Fielded it long on by Sikandar Raza. The end of the over, 17 gone, 126 for 5. The Nangarhar worm still well below the line, set by the Paktia Panthers. "13 runs off that last over. A pretty good over in most circumstances, but still nowhere near enough. 59 off 18 balls, and well, Ben Cutting and Hashmatullah Shahidi are going to have to do something quite remarkable here. Yusuf Zazai, a couple of overs for him so far. Well stopped in the end at short fine leg by Cameron Delport. If it had got past him, that was 4.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility. 70 of the last 4 overs. Who could forget that yesterday, 73 to be exact. And that was Laurie Evans and Rashid Khan. Can there be a repeat dose here? Can they drag this one home? With Ben Cutting still there, there's still a chance. Make no mistake. They're going to have to be spot on here. If a couple of balls sail over the boundary, I'll tell you what, the Nangarhar Leopards will start to believe.
Third man's gone back, and deep square leg now coming into the circle. And even with third man back, it's still a fog maximum 4. Fortune favouring the brave for Cutting. He has to throw the bat, and he gets a little bit of good luck on that occasion.
Too wide. Yes, it was an outside edge, but you can't be bowling there. You're asking for trouble as a fast bowler. Way too much width, and he was able to get enough on it to get it fine of the man, that third man. There we go. Got to be closer to the stumps than that, otherwise you're just allowing the batsman to free his arms and bringing those sort of strokes into play.
Wide. That's got to be a wide. Yusuf Shahzad just feeling a little bit of pressure here. He knows that if he can bowl a decent over, that basically shuts the door on Nangarhar. But he also knows that Ben Cutting, as he's demonstrated in this innings already, he's a really ferocious hitter. Long off and long on in position for Cutting's power down the ground. And there is that power down the ground. Goodness me, that's enormous. That's all the way to the Sharjah football stadium.
Spagiza, fog maximum. Exactly what's required at this juncture. Full toss, and Ben Cutting took full toll. That went a long, long way. One bounce on the roof and into the blue yonder. He knew straight away he had got all of it, and all he could do was admire, stand and deliver. No, not there, camera, there. That went a long, long way. Wow, that's big.
That last replay was a very interesting one, actually, Alistair, because you'll have seen he took an enormous stride back in his crease just to set himself. And then, boy, did he unleash.
A bit of a hiatus here as we wait for another ball here. Umpires are taken stock of another kookaburra. There's been a few that have disappeared into the yonder. Well, is it possible? 48 or 15 deliveries, basically needing 3 and a bit per ball. It always helps when you get 6. 48, not out, his best score in this particular game, and he'll look to improve on that as well.
Tell you what, Alistair, if I had an alternative career, I think it would be, or what I'd like it to be, would be ball supplier to this tournament. I'd make a fortune.
He's having a stellar tournament thus far, Ben Cutting. 8 wickets. This is just the second game he's played in, and now he's 48 not out, trying to get his team over the line. Oh, how about that for a shot? That's a fog 4, and it comes at a much needed time. Again, huge power from Ben Cutting. It's a full toss, but his placement was perfect.
It's his maiden half century in 2020 cricket. It's come in just 29 balls. Again, low full toss. Look at the power he's found. Four 4s, 4 6s. And, well, as captain, you can't ask for much more than he's produced over the last couple of matches. That'll be 4 more. Another fog maximum boundary. Again, a little bit of good fortune, but I think anyone watching would say he deserves it, because he really is playing a fantastic hand.
19 off the over, and he'll take him any which way they come at this stage, Ben Cutting. A few in this over have come right out the middle of the bat, a few off the edge as well, trying to heave it over the leg side. A healthy top edge, nobody down there now at third man, and a welcome boundary for the Leopards. We just got the feeling this is going down to the wire. They were in total control, the Paktia Panthers, and suddenly now a bit of doubt creeping in.
Oh, 6 more! Spagiza!
That's the biggest of the tournament so far. Out of the ground. Another ball required. 2 overs remaining. 151 for 5.
What a partnership. Ben Cutting, Hashmatullah Shahidi dragged their side back into contention from absolutely nowhere. Here's the last ball of the previous over, an over which yielded 25 runs. Boy, did this come out of the middle of the bat. Stand and deliver, stand and admire.
Well, Ben is cutting loose here in Sharjah. I tell you what, this is power hitting of the highest order. What's going through his mind, Mohammad Shahzad? That was in total control. There were smiles all around. They thought they could just walk this game in. Well, that's a different story now.
And Cutting really giving the bowlers all sorts of headaches, because when they've pitched up, he's drilled them down the ground. The length was altered for that last ball. And what's he done? He's pulled it over mid-wicket. Where'd you bowl to him?
Yeah, I think that's a question the bowlers are asking themselves as well. We're talking about Ben Cutting, but Shahidi's been no slouch as well. He's been the perfect foil. Right, Udana. He's been sensational tonight. He's got this 1 over left. Can he finish it? Can he make sure he gets the ball in the right area?
That's really well bowled. I suppose, given the hot streak that Ben Cutting is on, Shahidi's done the right thing in getting off strike.
Yeah, if I'm a fast bowler, I'm just trying to get it as full and straight as possible to Ben Cutting. I'm not messing around with any slower balls. I think it's too good a wicket. And we've seen what's happened in the previous over. If you get it slightly wrong, those slower balls, it sits up, and he's taken full toll. He did it so well in his opening spell, Udana. Got the ball full and straight, knocked over Johnson Charles. Just needs to repeat the dose here. Make sure that he doesn't allow Ben Cutting to get underneath it.
That's off the bottom of the bat. Is it safe? Oh, it's dropped. And they've come back for 2. Oh, that's a terrible mistake. Cameron Delport.
Gee whiz, I tell you what, he's normally got such a safe pair of hands, Cameron Delport. That's why he's out there on the boundary. And he's put down what you'd have to term as a relatively easy outfield catch. Pressure of the situation, maybe a bit of interference from the other fielder converging next to him as well. But there was a little hop, skip, jump, and, well, the turf was the winner.
Oh, good slower ball. That really is a terrific piece of bowling by Udana.
Yeah, I mentioned maybe not use the slower ball, but when you got one as good as that all day long, terrific piece of disguise. And it did him all ends up. He'll know as a bowler the skill required, the practice required to get it exactly right. And then you need the mental aptitude to deliver under pressure. And Udana has done just that on this occasion. Still got a few balls to bowl, though. It's not all done. 3 balls still remaining in the over. 31 required from 9.
Width. And a very unusual field. There's a deep backward point and a short third man.
Exactly the field that Mitchell McClenaghan was bowling to. Trying to bowl full and wide. How costly will that be, Cameron Delport? It was up in the air for a long time, but he got in a good position. I'm not sure where the jump was from or why it was required, but in the end, it wasn't even close. Bounced straight in and straight out.
Shahidi back on strike now on 48. Well, even if they lose this match, Nangarhar, they've done well to get as close to Paktia as they have, because it won't adversely affect their net run rate to the same extent as a heavy defeat now. They've taken one, but one's not enough really at this stage.
Oh, it was the right idea. Full toss. When you go down and want to play that scoop shot, this is exactly the delivery you want to get. And he's got an under edge and hit it straight to the man in short fine leg. Couple of yards either side, and that's raced away for 4. 65 of just 34 deliveries for Ben Cutting. Has he got enough left in the tank to try and finish that? It's a tall order now, 29 of 7 deliveries. He needs a few spuggeezers.
Again, a slower ball. What a terrific over that's been. Absolutely fantastic. Just 5 runs from it. 1 over to go, 156 for 5. Well, one more over to go in this match, but the action's by no means over today. We've got one more match for you coming up in about 45 minutes at 8 o'clock. Bulk against Kandahar. Now, here's Udana, just having a chat with his captain. Vastly experienced in this form of the game, Udana. And I have to say, he'd be a real contender for player of the match here. 4 overs, 2 for 28. Knocking over 2 big wickets at the top and bowling absolutely beautifully at the death.
Yeah, I'm with you. Inspired selection as well in this particular game. Slower ball, just be the single, have to hurry. Oh, directed, and he was gone, he'd given up. He got there really quickly. Turned, tried to throw the stumps down at all 3 to aim at, and wasn't able to hit any of them.
Shahidi would have been gone by quite some distance with a direct hit. Well, the equation's pretty simple now. 4 sixes and a 4 will do it. Of course, 5 sixes if Ben Cutting's going to be very greedy.
Just going back to that last over from Udana, how good was that? The skills. That slower ball, such a good one, such good disguise. And Ben Cutting, he's not just new to the crease, he's been hitting it to all parts of the ground, not able to make contact. And Udana able to do that under intense pressure. Really, really good skills. Now then, is there another twist in the tail? Has Ben Cutting got a few more spuggeezers up his sleeve? He's hit a few big ones here tonight, and he needs a few more to try and get his team over the line. Everyone in the circle, on the edge of the circle. Everyone on the boundary, right on the boundary edge. It's all about saving the boundary now.
Down the ground towards long on. They decide not to take the single. Cutting remaining on strike, but that's, well, unless there's a no ball or a wide now, the end of the news as far as Nangarhar are concerned.
Yeah, it looks like a bridge too far in the end, but you never know. Funnier things have happened. He's got to make sure that he finishes well. You know, overstepping. And very close there to an over waste. No ball. He's just got to make sure he calms down and gets the ball in the right area. Any slip up, any mistake, and suddenly they've got another sniff.
That's 6. Spuggeezer.
Yeah, there's one. He needed that. He needed to make sure of this next delivery. There was still some hope. Another lusty blow from Ben Cutting. 72 spuggeezers in the tournament thus far. And this one, back in his crease. Change of pace and able to help it on its way. He really has hit it so clean tonight.
Just wonder, the captain's had a chat with his bowler. Is it worth the bowler just bowling 3 deliveries off one pace just to ensure that he doesn't overstep and he doesn't bowl a full toss over waist height.
Maybe leave that for the last delivery. He can afford to go for another couple of sixes now, and then he'll still have plenty in the tank to make sure that the last ball is dealt with in according fashion. But he'll like to do it properly. He'd like to run in and try and execute his skills under this pressure. It's always a good learning moment, making sure you can finish out a game and do it properly. Terrific bowling, really good stuff. Hit for a 6 the ball before, and he's come back and bowled a perfect Yorker.
Yeah, that really was terrific stuff.
I can't believe how close they've got. When I was last on commentary, it was 51 for 5, given up the ghost. They were